Uh, so, hello guys, good evening. First of all, welcome everyone to this seminar that is 2-day workshop for Flutter. I think I'm audible, right? I'm, I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's begin first of all. I would like to thank for FEs because I just came to know that they had lectures till 4 p.m. and they are right now here again to attend another seminar. So I think future looks great. So without any further ado, let's just begin with our workshop. All right. So I'll just share my screen so that it's visible to everyone. Okay. So I think I'm visible, right? I think my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, first things first, let me introduce myself. I am Nitin Giri. Right now I'm studying in final year of my computer engineering from Vidyalankan Institute of Technology. So as you can see that I am a student, so no need to call me sir or anything, just call me Nitin. And as a student taking this seminar or workshop, whatever you can call this, um, I would request all of you to be vocal about yourself, to ask doubts, because I think you have to be selfish there because you're learning completely new concepts. For some of you all, I think many of you all might be that you have no clue about coding. So it will be really great that you can, if you will ask all the questions right here, right now, and I'll be willing to solve them. Okay. So yeah, these I think two rules. Don't call me sir at all. Just call me Nitin. And secondly, just clear all your doubts. Okay, here itself. Okay, so let's begin. So as you can see, it's Flutter Workshop and it is organized with the help of Computer Society of India, Vidyalankan Institute of Technology chapter. So now moving ahead. Now this is our agenda for this workshop. Now, as you all know that we have something that uh, called as mobile development. What is mobile app development to be precise? You every day in your life you use an app for sure, like uh, right from setting your alarm clock to Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Quora, all those things are just an app. And we'll learn about it, what is in it. Now, what is Flutter? Now, if you go on Google, if you search the word Flutter, it has a meaning that how the bird flaps their wings. But it's not here. I'm sure that I'm not going to teaching you that. I'm computer engineering. I'm right now doing computer engineering, so I won't be teaching you about how to flap your wings. But I'll teach you about this Flutter, this new coming of the age technology, which is going to change the future of mobile app development. And I would say it's currently changing, but it's going to change as well. Now, the question that many of you ask me is why Flutter? Why there is so much hype about this? You know, we have Python, we have so much hype about it. So people explain why Python. Now, I will explain you why Flutter. Now I've just given a cool name like Darth Vader. It's a shout out to Star Wars. Now Dart is actually the language that we use in Flutter. So Dart Vader is basically we are going to tackle this language Dart, and you'll come to know about it. Don't take stress if you have no idea about coding, because I'll be starting everything from scratch. So you will have pretty much good idea about what Dart is. So let's just now moving ahead. Why are we here? Just to suffer? I know. Who wants to actually listen to me? All right, you are here to actually make some app. You are here to actually implement something and maybe brag about those apps somewhere. So I'll just keep my mouth shut at that point of time, and I think we'll make some apps, and those apps will be great. I would really love if it will be really. I would hope that they are good for you and you will enjoy making them, and we'll make them together. So right now, depending upon time, we'll see that how much portion we complete today and how much will be left, how much we are getting done tomorrow. We'll do all those things because it might happen that we might do more than one project. We might do two projects. If not, if I will do just one project, give you synopsis of the second project, and you can try it off your own. So yeah, basically in the fifth chapter, I'll be like, I'll just shut my mouth and we'll just do coding. Now the next thing is live action Quora. So it's basically Quora in real life, and whatever doubts you have, whatever questions you have, you can ask me directly. So yeah, this is what we are going to do in these 2 days of workshop. Now let's move ahead. Now this is what is our objectives, rules, of basically expectations and outcome. So in these 2 days, now as you all know, mobile app development is not a small field. It's a really big field. You have Android development, you have iOS development, and you have something right now that you'll be learning this time is Flutter development. So it cannot be done in 2 days or 8 hours precisely. So my job, my task here is basically to make you make you excited, make you interested in this field, that you yourself, after these 8 hours, you yourself try to see something more about this, what do you say, field. All right. So that would be my job. So it is basically our objective here, that to make you interested in this mobile app development field. And what will be the outcome? Maybe you, hopefully you might get some, you might be interested, some of you might get interested in this field, maybe pursue this as your, what do you say, as a job prospect, maybe make some apps, maybe we can collab if you want. Yeah, I don't have YouTube, so anyways, so you will be interested in field and try to explore more in-depth knowledge on Flutter to make some outstanding apps and make more moolah than White Hat's junior Chinto. Okay, so I know there's so much hype that you need to learn app development. You need, if you don't learn app development, you are nowhere. You won't get money. It's not that way. Basically, I will just tell you what Chintu made for actually those that to be said 3 crore that he got as a job. He actually made an app which White Hat Junior claimed that it would solve world hunger. Now what that app does it, now you have to, in that app you just have to enter the amount of food that you have wasted. That's it. It's nothing. And they claim that this app is going to solve world hunger. You have to just weigh the how much food that you have wasted today, and they claim that, okay, you know what, we are going to solve world hunger. If it was that easy, because I think many governments have tried before to do it across the world, but they have failed. So yeah, basically I'll show you much more complex apps, much better app which you can basically use, and yeah, you can get much more well versed in that area. So now moving ahead. Okay, so today's lesson. So we are here for roughly 3 to 4 hours. So what are we going to do? So let me just take you back to that index page so that it will be much more easy. So first of all, we'll go through this. What is mobile development? We'll learn through this, and then wait a second. Then what is Flutter? Why Flutter? And today we are going to tackle this Dart Vader. I think these 4 chapters we are going to do. So Dart Vader is going to take our most of the time today, to be precise, because we'll be going through all the basics of Dart, and then maybe basics of coding as well, because some of you might not know about it. So yeah, basically these 4 things that we'll do today. We'll tackle Dart today, and then tomorrow we'll take on some projects. Take on one project, and if we have time, we'll definitely go to another. So don't worry about it. Don't take tension. Now, before moving in, if you want to make notes, it's fine. But at the end of this workshop, like tomorrow, I'll make sure that you have all the materials there, right from this PPT to everything that I'll be using. Even the codes that we'll be typing will be provided to you. So no need to worry about it. It will be taken care very nicely. Okay. So like right now, let's just move ahead. So before moving ahead, I want to tell you about a guy with vision. I think everyone here, everyone in this seminar is very familiar with the word, with this guy, Steve Jobs. Now, 24 years before the first iPhone and 27 years before the first iPad was made, in the year 1983, he did this code. It would be a little like a record store where software would be downloaded over phone lines. Now just imagine the vision of this guy, that 24 years before first iPhone is made, this guy comes up with this statement, with this comment, and says that we will have something like App Store. And for example, and as a result, today we have iOS App Store and Google App Store, basically 2 main app stores right now, 2 giants in app development kind of thing. We'll come back to this later. We'll talk about it more. Don't worry about it. And as a result, we have thousands of apps on our fingertips. So basically, before starting, I'm just showing you that how visionary our Steve Jobs was. May he rest in peace. Now moving ahead. So understanding the MAD deeper. Now MAD is basically a short acronym for mobile app development. So let's get on this. So let's just talk about the textbook definition right now. Mobile app development is a procedure or process of software creation for handheld and mobile wireless computing devices such as personal, digital assistant, tablet, smartphones. It's a headache. Basically, it's nothing. Mobile app development is just that you will have to make apps for phones, tablets, and maybe for smartphone watches, smart TVs. It's just that, nothing. So now in mobile app development, basically there are two factions. Basically, there are two big factions. Like in a village, there are two families which are very powerful and who oppress everyone. This is Android and iOS. So yeah, these are the two important factions that we'll talking about, Android and iOS. All right. So as you all know, Android was first made as Open Handset Alliance, and which was in what do you say? It was first introduced by Open Handset Alliance, which was actually a cumulative of head developers, contributors, and commercial marketers, which was being backed by Google. So it was Open Hand Alliance, but it was Google who took it to market, and they told that, oh, you know what, we are making this thing. It was made in the year 2008, and in 2007 iOS was made. Now, and Hitchcock and Scully's, if anyone is familiar with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they know how useless sometimes Hitchcock and Scully's are. They had their past, they had a good thing, but yeah. Okay, I think someone is okay. It's just over right now, basically. So Hitchcock and Scully's would include someone like Windows. As you know, Windows Phone are basically over, and kind of disappointing to see some giant like Windows actually losing in this path. And then you had something known as Tizen. Now Tizen is basically an OS which is developed by Samsung. It is not yet in Samsung phones, but it is used in you will see the Tizen OS in Samsung smartwatches. So that's where they use it. Now the important aspect of why I thought about this issue of Google and iOS, Android and iOS thing, is just because one reason that it reminds me of a story of how I decided to be in mobile app development. Now, first of all, saying something like Android and iOS, they're completely new things. They are completely different things. So you have to, if you want to go for Android app development, you have to learn Android Studio and Java. And if you want to go in iOS, you have to learn Swift. So what compelled me to actually going for Android and not for iOS? Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. Let's discuss and analyze this. Now, 74% of users are Android users and 25% are iOS. Let's basically see all 3 in 4 devices are Android devices. Now, this is a big deal. Now, let me think like someone who has to get some profit. Why would I go somewhere? Why won't I go somewhere where there are 3 and 4 devices on that operating system? Definitely, I would love to go for Android development. Come on, it's easier. iOS is just like 1 in 4. Why to go there? I'll cater the 75, the maximum of the customer base. That's what I'm going to do. So this is the first reason that compelled me, but much more deeper reason what compelled me was this: open and closed source. What now? Okay, just basically open source software programmers. It will, when Google actually releases an Android, it will actually give you all the code before it is converted into zeros and ones. That code is actually released to everyone. So anyone who has no clue about coding but they can actually see that code, what it is made of, what it comprises of, and maybe you can even make make some changes, make it much more to your personal. You can use personalization to it. So that's what is open source. Now closed source that is what iOS follows. iOS won't give you access to every line of your code. It will just give you some access to some part, and others they give developers an API which is set for tools and let them develop programs for the iPhone, but restricts what they access to. So if you all remember, there was this Steve Jobs biopic in which Michael Fassbender plays Steve Jobs. There is an altercation between Steve Jobs and Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, where they have an argument about should we give all the access to our customer base or not. But Steve Jobs was adamant, no, we won't give it. we would keep it restricted, and that's what they did. And that's is something that is the beauty of iOS in some way. But for me, it was iOS. For me, Android works because now I can do anything with it. I want to make I want to make app. I can do everything regarding that. So the biggest, so another biggest advantage that I would like to say it, as I showed you in this slide before, that 74%, 74% means more developers. It means larger community. And I had internship for 2 months. I did internship for 2 months. Now in that internship, if I used to face any issues, and I mean any issues, I just used to copy paste it on Stack Overflow. That's it. If I'm just stuck, I'm like half an hour there, and I'm getting stressed. Oh, I'm not able to solve this. I'll just copy that problem, paste it on Stack Overflow. And this is what the advantage that you get when you have a larger community, is that it might be a possibility that each and every problem must have been faced by someone, and they would try to resolve this. This is the advantage of being in a good community and a big community, that you can get your any problem resolved from anywhere. So that's why we have something like Stack Overflow and that. So all right, now moving ahead. So basically these two slides would tell you why I decided to move to Android development. Now, but what if someone is like, no, you know what? I don't want to go for 75%. I want that entire pie. I want that entire 100%, and I want to cater every customer base, and I want to take that app to each and every customer, irrespective of the OS. Now, what is Flutter? Now this is where Flutter comes in. This what is it? This chart, this poster that you're seeing was the first time Flutter was introduced to the world in Dart Developer Summit 2015. And at that point of time, Flutter was codenamed as Sky. And you can see an experience writing for Android with Dart. And so, yeah, in the year of 2015, Flutter was first introduced to the world. So what basically Flutter is? So if you talk about it, Flutter is an open source UI software development kit created by Google. This is all it is. So it's all about software development kit, and it is developed by Google, backed by Google, and Google is really pushing hard on this software right now. Advantage: Android, iOS, Linux, Mac, Windows, Google, Fuchsia, and the web from a single code base. As I said before, that what if I want to have the entire 100% of the chart? I have to write one single code base, just one code base, and it can run on any operating system that I mentioned here. Android, iOS, Linux, Mac, Windows, Google, and Google Fuchsia. Now, you will be thinking that what actually Fuchsia is. Fuchsia is basically said to be is said to be basically what is a replacement for Android, which is being developed by Google right now, and it is going to be made by Flutter. So Flutter is going to play a major part while making that entire development kit, entire operating system. So that would get you more excited that if Google is in some point in the future, maybe in 5-6 years, they might go to Fuchsia. So it should get you more excited that it would be made on Flutter, and I already know Flutter, so I can easily change and make some apps on Fuchsia as well. So this is one of the biggest advantages that you might get of Flutter, is that just one single code base, and you can deploy it anywhere. Because if I used to write for Android, then there would be some other guy who would write it for iOS and cater it to iPhone users. But here it's not the case. You have to just write one single code base. Now, okay, this is not too much that we have done here, but we'll just stop for a second and I'll ask, do you have any questions? Because it should be completely give and take of knowledge. So if anybody of you right now has some questions, can ask me. Don't hesitate. Okay, just ask the questions if you have any. Anyone? Any Hello, do I have anyone?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we have to download Flutter?
Actually, I mailed you some document. Those who had registered, I mailed them a document in which they can download Flutter and Android Studio and the emulator. But if you have not received it, don't worry. At the end of today's seminar, I'll try to get back to it. Okay, so don't worry, we'll have time for that. Right now, today we won't be touching Flutter. Don't worry about it. We'll be touching only Dart. Tomorrow we will be touching Flutter. But before that, we'll all do that. What is it? Making our system compatible for Flutter.
Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have a generic doubt. I just wanted to ask since PC coding is very famous and renowned, everybody wants to do C, C++. What is it like? Can you tell me any top companies that do app developments or are soaring high in the Android making?
I would just answer it by basically saying you one thing, that anything that you make, even company like Goldman Sachs, which is completely Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, which is completely fintech company, financial company, they also have some development thing. They would have someone who would be making their apps. Today, the main thing about applications is that you can easily reach your viewers. You can easily reach your customers. Okay, now, so your question about that, I would just answer it by saying, just go on Google App Store. Just go on Google App Store, go on App Store. You would have app on anything. So if you want to talk about some companies which are right now doing it, take Uber example, Swiggy, take Goldman Sachs, take Ola, even Amazon, they take developers. So there is no shortage of developers right now, and there are many multinational companies, many startups. I worked as an intern in a startup, so there are startups right now flourishing around the country, and you can even join them. It's a great learning experience if you start from startup, because you get much more responsibility and you learn at the basic level. So it's really great. Yeah.
So is the competition kind of high in in computer programming or app development? Can you compare?
I think it's much more in software development. Not many of the guys would go around in app development, because if I talk about from my class itself, there are not many of the guys. I think I have just a couple of guys who know about app development. So but everyone wants to be developer. Everyone has any idea about C, C++, or Java. So I would say in app development there is lesser competition as you go for in other development, software development basically.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. No need to call, sir. So if you all have any, so again, I'll also do this, that right now, let's stick to the topic. I think we are serving away from topic. As I said, that we will have a live action Quora. So as I said before, that I have completed, I am in my last semester, I'm in my 4th year. So if you have any doubts, we'll solve it. Don't worry. But we'll do it tomorrow, because I think we should focus more on the subject here, more on the topic here. And we are serving sideways. So if anyone has any doubt about the topic, let's do that. And if anybody of you have any doubts regarding something else, we can do it tomorrow. Don't worry about it. So anyone else wants to have some doubt?
Nitin, do check the chat.
Okay, I think I'll check the chat once. Just a second. What is in the chat? As Google has made Kotlin and their official language dev language, soon Java will fade away after a period of time. Should I start with Java or Kotlin? React Native versus Flutter. Is Flutter better? Okay, I think these two are the major questions that everyone asks. Java or Kotlin? Okay, now I will tell you this straightforward. Java is a language which has been for years, and Kotlin is something new. It's basically, if you compare Java and Kotlin, it's basically comparing Java and Python. Because I'll tell you this is, Java is old language. It has, if you go and read its documentation, it's just cluttered. It's just cluttered because there's so many things dumped into this language that language is not cluttered. And Kotlin did was, it started from what Java lacked and just built up upon it. So if you know Java, go for Java. I would say if you start Java, it won't be an issue because you would be easily able to go to Kotlin. Kotlin is not a difficult language. It follows the same procedures like Java. It has some keywords changes. That's it. So it won't be other organization for. Yeah, I'll come back to it later. I'll come back to Mihir's question later. First, I'll answer Darshan's question. So first understand Java, because Java is really basic language, and if you know Java, you can switch it to anywhere. Like for example, I had no clue about Dart. I had no clue about Dart, but when I started with Java, it was easier for me to switch to Dart because they are basically object-oriented level programming. We'll come to the object-oriented level programming later on. So the switch was easier for me. So that's what. So all that I would say is study Java first, so that you get your basics done, and then you can go to Kotlin if you want. Now React Native versus Flutter, is Flutter better? Yeah, I think Google would answer is better. You can just Google this, and there are many of the guys. I have not worked on React Native. My friends have. Couple of my friends have. Yeah, React Native is quicker than Flutter if you talk about in some aspects, but Flutter also. So it's like 50-50 thing. But I would say go for Flutter. Flutter has much more better packages. They have more packages than React Native have right now, and it's much more development friendly as compared to React Native. Other organization for open source contribution with Flutter. Yes, okay, yes. Okay, other organization for open source contribution with Flutter. Open source contribution, I have no idea about it, but we have apps. We have apps like. Okay, I'll come to Rahul's question right now. Other organization open source Flutter. So we have apps like Dream11. ये आप छोड़ो मैं कर लेता हूँ. आप team बना लो. So basically that app is made on Flutter, eBay is made on Flutter, Google Assistant, your Google Assistant is made on Flutter. So these are all the apps which are made on Flutter. I have no idea about this organization, but you can basically Google that. I think you can Google this and you can find some answer for it. Is Google's Swift programming language is good for? Yeah, Swift is good for. You basically do iOS development in Swift. But what I'm going to teach you is that Flutter, by just learning Flutter, you can do both Android and iOS. So basically, it's cross app development thing, and this is going to be future. The cross app development thing is going to future. If I give you an example, I have a startup. Okay, I want to make a company, and I want to have an app. Okay, I want to have an app. Okay, and I would hire a developer for it. Now it can be an Android developer, it can be an iOS developer, because I have to cater both of them. All right. So there are rare guys who know both Android and iOS, but there are some guys. What if I don't find anyone? So I have to hire one Android developer. I have to find one iOS developer. So I have two guys. I have to pay those two guys. Now, if I hire someone as a Flutter developer, they know both of those things. They know both. They just have to write one code, and it would go on. It would run on anything. So that's the reason why Flutter is going to change everything ahead, because it has everything. Why should I hire two people and pay them when I can hire one and just pay him? So that's the advantage, and that's the reason why the entire system is going to change to Flutter in some time. I know people talk about, oh, it's going to change this, it's going to change that in some time, and it never changes. Like we had dreams about there will be flying cars in 2020, but we still don't have it, sadly. But yeah, it is a possibility in near future that Flutter is going to be the language of development, and we will see that for sure. Second reason why, because Google is really pushing hard for it. They are really. Is Python good as first? I'll come back to it, Prasad. So what else am I going to say? I just lost my link. Yeah. So what to say? Yeah. So basically, I'm just saying that Flutter is going to change everything. Is Python good as first programming language? I would say no. Now this is kind of controversial, but I've been through some placements, and there were some companies who blatantly told us that you cannot code in Python. You have to code in C, C++, or Java. And Python is a good language. It really is a stress-free language, but I would say suggest go for Java or C++. If you go for C++, it's even better, much more quicker and faster than Java. So yeah, you can go for C or Java, C++ or Java if you want. But Python should be the second project, because many companies, I'm going to be frankly with you, that many companies work on Java or C++. They don't work on Python as of yet. Yeah, so I think any more doubts? Let's talk about topic doubts, and then we can get some more doubts if anyone has. I think are we done? Yeah, okay, I think we are done. So let's just shift here. Okay, now let's just move ahead. So now, as I said before, when I'm right now pitching you about Flutter. Okay, I just pitched you about Flutter, why you should go on Flutter and be in Flutter app development. Now you did it. Now it's now like I'm a salesperson, so I would say why? Because it is going to be giga chat. It is going to go to the moon. So yeah, holders, you have diamond heads. Hands. Now those who know, they know. So okay, so why Flutter? Biggest thing, cross-site development. Cut down. You can easily cut down the hassle of writing code for each and every operating system. And I'm telling you, it's an headache. It's a headache if you go on writing for each and every operating system. Write one code base, run it everywhere. You can just do that. With Flutter development, okay. So now the second thing is Dart language. Now, why Dart language is important and why I'm bringing it this so much? There are a few reasons for it. There are certain reasons for it why I'm using Dart language. So okay, I think
Nitin, you have to unmute yourself. I just muted everyone.
all right, all right, all right. Okay, just admit this. Hamaka. Okay. So let's go this. Okay, now Dart language. Why are we talking about Dart language? So in Flutter development, the programming Dart is utilized. It is one of the Google languages created in October 2011. So as you can see, it's a really new language and everyone is just getting used to it. Okay, and has improved significantly in recent years. Dart is statically typed and allows you to write much more structured code, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not going into theory right now. If you might say, I think some of the guys might have attended my last workshop, which was in August. I was going too much in theory because I had to cover everything in 1 hour. Don't worry about it. We have so much time. I have 8 hours. I'm going to keep you hostage for 8 hours. So you have to give me attention for 8 hours, and I'm going to utilize it very nicely. So right now, I'm not going too much into theory, but basically what Dart language has is AOT, GIT, and garbage collector. Now this garbage collector is not your normal garbage collector that you have on your door. Now AOT is ahead of time compilation. Now just okay, I think this needs to be fixed. Guys. All right, so this is a small request, guys. Please don't unmute yourself. It really breaks the flow of those who are studying and those who are, for me as well, it breaks my flow. So AOT, GIT, and garbage collector. So as I said before, garbage collector is not your normal garbage collector. AOT is ahead of time and GIT is just in time. This is basically abbreviation that I've used here. Now, now I'll just tell you one thing, that what it does, it will really give you fast startup. Now, when you okay, when you write a code, you run the code, all right, and it gets compiled and you see the result of it. So what these AOT and GIT and garbage collector is going to do is basically they're just going to do it quick, and you are going to see it. So don't worry, it's basically theoretical. It's basically behind everything. It is something behind Flutter, but we are going to see it in hand. So don't worry about it. Now, hot reload, make changes, see differences. We are also going to see this. So I think basically why I'm saying you have to bear with me for some time, because it's better if you'll see it. It will be great if you could see what I'm going to show you for Flutter. Now, if you just move ahead, there are a few more things. Now, other features that are useful. Now, some of you might recognize this logo. It is Firebase logo. Now, if do you have any idea about Firebase? Maybe some of might have used it or not. It's fine. So Firebase is basically what can act as the backend of your application. Now there are two parts in your application. One is front end and what is backend. Now front end is what you see. So while using your Swiggy app, what you see, what you order, this all things are your front end thing. What happens behind it? How that Google Map is loaded, how that message is sent to the what is it, to that restaurant that your order is being booked. all these things are handled in backend that you can see. Basically, backend is something that you can't see. Frontend is something that you can see. So while making an app, you have to make sure that you have both of them, and then you combine both of these. That basically at Firebase you don't have to do that. Firebase takes care of your database, takes care of your login thing, login activity thing. So Firebase is really useful in it, and maybe when you'll go deeper in this field, you'll understand why I'm talking about it. Maybe time, if time would permit, I'll show you what is Firebase exactly tomorrow. So don't worry about it. Now the second thing. Now I would ask you one thing. What are widgets? Have you ever heard about something like widgets? Can anybody answer that? If someone likes to, they can answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so can you say what widgets exactly are?
Like quick access to the settings here or some important thing.
Yeah, so now what you talked about is something that like a small, what is it, a clock that you see on your phone or something like that. Now it's cool, but when Flutter development, what you basically deal in is widgets. Now, what are widgets in Flutter? Widgets are the basic blocks, and when you make it's a basic block on which you build an app. Again, it's something that you will see and understand. Just bear with me. I'll just give you what is a textbook definition about it, and then we'll just move ahead. Widgets are the basic blocks used to build a user interface of a Flutter application. Okay, so I think you get it. That it's basically what you interact with, and it is what you call a widget. Its layering makes it easy to create applications on any complexity. You can use ready-made widgets, make your own widgets. So yeah, we'll get to this later and we'll talk about it. Now, Flutter automation with GitLab and Fastlane. Now, the basic CI/CD support. Now, CI/CD support is not very great in Android development. If you go to Android, the Fastlane, basically what GitLab does is you can write a code and you can push it into, you can git push, and that your code is getting saved, and it's continuous integration and continuous delivery practices. Now, what if I have a bug in my app? Okay, and I have to make that changes. I have to make those changes and I have to push it right now. Otherwise, I'm going to start getting more one-star reviews on my app. So this is what GitLab or Fastlane automates in, that you can easily make those changes and it would readily go to your apps. All right. So these were the basic small features that were useful. Now I said that there are many things that you would understand while doing, and I think it is good that I would explain you those at that point of time, so it will be easy for you to understand. Now, if we can just move ahead. So basically, it's what is it? Right now, a quick summary, what we just understood. Mobile app development. So mobile app development has Android development, iOS app development, and there is new coming of the age technology of Flutter app development. Recap. Now, what is Flutter? Flutter is an open source UI SDK. UI is user interface. SDK is software development kit. Now, software development kit is something that has everything what you require, what you need for development, what you need for software development, and basically Flutter is that. So it's like your toolbox, basically your toolbox. You're a carpenter and it's your toolbox, and you using the toolbox you have to make some apps. Now, why Flutter? Because really quicker and efficient than other development tools. Yeah, that's all that we have covered right now. So as I showed you in my index thing, that we'll understand about mobile app development, then we'll go to what is Flutter, and then why is Flutter. So we have completed this and we just took less than an hour. So it's great. I think we can just, let's just move ahead. Okay, so thank you for being patient with me. Let's get our hand dirty. And so we will move on to some, some practical part. And to motivate you further, we have our very own Michael Scott or Wayne Gretzky. I don't know who wrote that, but I think, yeah, it's basically Michael Scott. I believe Michael Scott. So you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I don't know who that guy Wayne Gretzky is. I love Michael Scott. Yeah. So, okay. So let's just escape. So we are done with this project right now. We are done with this PPT. Now we'll move away from PPT. All right. So, okay. Before moving ahead, I'll just ask, do any of you have any doubts? We'll just take a 1 minute breather here. Whew. So do any of you have any doubts? Let's just get on. So again, specifying that it would be great if your doubt is on Flutter and what I have taught you right now. We can have a good discussion about all your doubts tomorrow, but today we will be focusing on Flutter. No doubts. Okay, Tuba. Thank you, Tuba. So right now, let's just move ahead. Now we are going to do some coding. I don't know if any of you are excited for it, but let's do it. So yeah, let's get on to it. So this is my Notion. I think it's clearly visible. What are you able to see what all I have written here? Is it nicely visible? Any response? Come on, guys. Don't be sleepy. It's just evening. Come on.
Yes, sir.
No need to call sir. It's cool. Okay, so let's just now move into it. Now, as I said before, now we'll be tackling now fourth chapter and maybe one of the coolest name chapters that I have ever kept, Dart Vader. All right, so why Dart? Why are we going in this thing? Basically, I just covered all of that last, but let's just talk about Dart right now. Object-oriented language. Now, what is object-oriented language? Now, object-oriented language is basically a language which deals in objects and classes. Now, some of you might know about objects and classes because they might have done something about Java, but many of you, it might be that you, especially the first years, I think some of you might have studied C++ in your 12th standard, I suppose, but there will be some students who have no idea of what it is. So don't worry, just be with me and you'll come to know. So this is object-oriented language, statically typed. Now, how statically typed? It is something that has syntax and there are some data types. Right now, I'll just keep it till there. Okay. C-style string. C-style syntax. Okay. So C-style syntax, if basically C language, Dart takes inspiration from C, C#, and JavaScript. So if you have any knowledge about any of these three language, it's great. You can easily switch on. If you have no idea, don't worry. Nitin Giri is here. So now multiple runtime environments. You can run this code easily on your browser. Now, what I want from you all is open your browser, divide your what do you say? Divide your screen like this, if it's possible. So I'm on the one side and you are on the second side. Okay. So divide your screen, and you can do two things. Either you can code with me, whatever I'm coding, you can code it with me. But if you are like, no, I have to pay focus, no issues. The codes will be provided to you. All right. So right now, as I said, it's an hands-on workshop, Flutter hands-on workshop. So let's get onto it. So type this in your thing, dartpad.dartlang.org. This is the website that we have to go through. Now, I'm saying that this is a playground. Now you will understand why this is a playground. So let me just open my new tab and let's go to it. Okay, I'll just do one thing. I'll just take it out. Put it up. Sorry. Dartpad.dartlang.org. So is everybody here? Okay, do you have any doubts as of right now? I'll just check it once. Is there something like building from scratch and different? What is there something like building from scratch and different using Flutter? Building from scratch. I actually don't get that question. I'm unable to get that question. Maybe Anantha Krishnan, please, if possible, elaborate more on that. I have no idea what you just meant. So is everyone on Dartpad? Yes, no doubts. Yes. Okay, nice. It's good to have some enthusiastic guys. So wait just a second. I'll just maybe I'm unable to. Okay, I'll just do that. Okay, I think I'm just sharing this, so we have to do this. Okay, yeah. So are we here? Is everyone here? Some response. Yes, no, I have no net in my house. I'm unable to do it.
Yes.
Some response.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is Dartpad. Now, as I said, this is a playground. Now in playground, what you do is basically you have sand. When you were a child once, in playground you have sand, you have seesaw, um, and something you try a few things there. Like in seesaw, you have to climb that ladder and you have to slide. But some of guys like me will go opposite side from the slide, go out and then climb the ladder. So yeah, playground is basically where you do anything that you want. You try to do something that you want, and this is what you're going to do here. So uh, if you go in any coding class, if you start any coding lecture, the first thing that they will do is they'll teach you hello world, how to print hello world. Now some of for newbies it will be like, ah, great, let's see how the things work. But some of the guys who have already some knowledge about coding, they're like, ah, no, again hello world. So I have not written this code. If you might have opened dartpad.dartlang.org, you might see this code already present there. So what Dart does, it already, they know that you are going to start with hello world. You know what? I'm going to write it for you, and here it is. So right now, let's not get into it. We'll start by something basic. Now, what is void main? Now, what is main? Why there is something like void? Void means nothing. Why there is nothing here? Okay, I know there might be some questions around you. Main is basically that function that is first looked by the compiler when it starts compiling. So when your every code, every what do you say, every application, every code will have a main function, and main function is a reference from where the compiler will know from where it has to start. Now if I remove this void main and if I just go, you know what, I want to print hello world. All right, I would just run it. You can see expected and identify a function body must be provided. Try using a function body. This error. Are you able to see my screen, or I should zoom in more? Is this good?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. I think it would be better to see. Now, error compiling to JavaScript. As I said before, Dart is made because of C, C Sharp, and JavaScript interpreting the this main.dart expecting identifier, but we got hello. So your void main is basically an identifier, is something, a start point for your compiler to see from where you are going to start coding. Now, okay, just let me get this curl Z, and then we have void main back. So now what we are going to do is we are going to start print hello world. Now this is okay, I messed up with this world, and let's do hello here. Okay, now we have this done. So let's just run this code, and you would see that it will print hello world. Now print statement basically does it, whatever I put in here, it will be printed on my console. So I hope that all of you are with me. I think some of you might be doing have opened this Dartpad with me. If you have any issues, just tell me. It's not an issue. Okay, we can just resolve it right here. Are everyone okay with this? Have everyone found dartpad.dartlang.org and not facing any issues? Let us see. I will let it chat. Okay. I don't think.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah, it's clear. Okay, I think everyone's clear about it. So okay, let's just get back onto it. Now, okay. Now, as you're on dartpad.dartlang.org, you remember I told something about statically typed, and I talked about data types, and I talked about syntaxes. Now, this what you see here is a syntax. Now, syntax is basically, it's a heavy word, but syntax is basically a rule. Whenever you write a code, whenever you write something, there are some rules that you have to follow. That this, if you don't put the semicolon after this comment, it will give you an error. Expected to find this. Now, these are some things that you have to do. Okay, I cannot put full stop here. I cannot put something else here. Expected to find identifier, so void it cannot be. So just use this. Now, these are rules that you have to follow. These are some basic rules that you will have to follow. Now, this is what syntax means. So in every line that you write on this Dart, you have to end it with this semicolon, and it's really crucial that you do it. If you don't, it will show you an error like it just showed in mine. All right, so let's just take it ahead. Now I'm going to introduce you something to what do you say? Data types. Now, I want to print my name. Simple way I can do is print my name is Nitin. Hello to meet you. All right. Okay, I think I messed up the meet spelling. Okay, it's right here, meet. So my name is Nitin, hello to meet you. It's simple. Basically, whatever I write in these semicolons, it will be printed as string. Now, when I put these colons up, double colons up, the reason why I put it because it's a string. String is collection of characters. Now, I think it might get heavy for you. If it gets heavy, just tell me where to stop. Basically, it's a sentence, and whatever I write in this column is something that I want to print it. So that's it. That's all you need to know right now. So as I talked about that, now I talked about syntax. Now I would talk about data types. Now I want, okay, you know what? I want to print someone else's name. I want to keep on printing someone else's name. I just don't want my name. I want someone else's name here. So I can put like Yash, I can put here Anchit, I can put here Bhavik, anything that I want to do. Okay, but I want to do something else. Now I'm going to show you something as data type. Let's type var. Var means variable. As you can see, try remembering var. It's cool. Right now it will show up because I've not completely written this. Var and method. His name isn't used. Okay, it's not an error. It's just an info that is given that this name is never used somewhere, so we have to use it. That's all it's saying. So no need to take stress about that. Now var name written. Now just get on var. If you just click on it, name. Just click on name. String name local variable. Now what is var? Var is basically a variable. Now variable, you know, when you do mathematics, there are variables like x, y, I, j. You give them any name. Why they are named variables? Because you can name anything. It's upon your conscience that what you have to name it. It is not dependent on anyone. You don't have to follow in hard and fast rule. You can write a name. You can write n1. You can write x, y, z. So it's upon you. It's like you are doing namkaran here. You are going to do a namkaran of a variable. So, okay, you get this? Now, Dart is smart enough. How? I'll tell you this. There is nothing called as var. There's nothing called as data type as var in Java, in C, because there you have to specify. Now, as I said before, anything between these colons is a string. So in Java, this statement will be actually wrong. You have to put string. Now, this becomes right. Why Dart does not give you any error when you just put var here is because Dart is smart enough. They know what they would adjust this variable according to what you put it on your right hand side. So basically, we are using we are allocating something of a variable in the data part, and then we are assigning that string Nitin to it. That's it. Okay. So if I want, I can write int. Okay, why not do this? Where int, and I'll go where there is my roll number. Roll number. Sorry, I'll just put roll is equals to 36. It will clearly understand now. Now when we put var here, it showed x. I'll just type it. It is showing xyz as a string. Now I put var here and it shows roll number as an integer. Now int is a short form of integer. As you know, integer go from all the minus numbers, 0 and the positive numbers. So it is an integer here. This is what. So now this is where I think power of Dart comes in, and you don't have to specify each and everything. You can just name it a variable and leave it to Dart, and it will assign the perfect data type for it. It is smart enough to understand it. Now, okay, let's. We have now assigned our. Now I'll just remove this as well. We have now assigned our first variable data type. You have known about data type. You have known about variable. Now I want to print something. So print. My name is. I want my name. My name is. I want my name here. All right. So in Java, if anybody of you has any have any idea of it, we'll use this plus concatenation. So my name is, this space is important. My name is space plus x, y, z. Now what we'll do? my name is Nitin. So basically what it's doing is my name is already a string and XYZ is a string, and it is going to concatenate them. It means it is going to join them as soon as this colon gets over. So now see this. I got this. Now what if I want to have something like my roll number or my my roll number. Let's get my roll number. My roll number is right now 36. Let's do 36. Okay. Now I want the statement to read as I'll just my name is Nitin and my roll number is 36. So for this big, I have to again use plus, because as it is a variable, it cannot be a string. If I put now see this. If I put my this here, it will print my name is XYZ. It is not treating it XYZ as a variable. It is treating XYZ as a part of a string. So यहाँ पे वो I'll switch to Hindi if someone basically it might be good for someone to follow. So XYZ यहाँ पे हम लोग as a string देख रहे हैं. But when you concatenate, जब हमने यहाँ पे plus use किया था तो वहाँ पे as a variable था. ठीक है, तो अब जब वेरिएबल कॉल होता है तो वेरिएबल से एसोसिएटेड जो वैल्यू नितिन है वो कॉल होती है. ओके, आई थिंक does anyone of you have any doubt here? I think it's pretty much clear, but if anyone has any doubt, because it's really basic and I want everything to be clear. Any doubts? I'll just check one more time. Any doubts?
Clear?
No, clear.
No.
Okay, so let's get on to it. Now, as I said that I want to print something, my name is Nitin and my roll number is 36. Sorry. So I'll do this. Okay. My name is Nitin. And whenever there is a break, now you have to start another string. My name is Nitin. And my roll number is XYZ is another, my roll number is this. It has to be another string. So we have to again use this plus, and my roll number is, okay. And then again we do space here, we concatenate and we call in roll here. Okay, so right now it is not showing any error. We are using XYZ and roll. If we run this, we get this. My name is Nitin and my roll number is 36. So basically you see what we are using. This is something print statement which you can use in Java. But again, I will show you what is the power of Dart. I'll just remove this plus. I'll remove these all things. It's not required. It's not required. It's not required. It's not required. Now, as I said before, as I've removed all those plus and all of the things are between those columns, we as a sentence, now it will be treated as a string. Now, what if I just put $1 sign here? You can see the color change. $sign, and there you go. $XYZ. Now this thing is not a string anymore. It is basically a variable. And same thing we are going to do here. Voila. So whatever you thought it was a string, it is not a string anymore. It becomes a variable by just adding that $sign. Now if I run this, you get my name is Nitin and my roll number is 36. So I think this was something that I wanted you to get started on. So it's a really basic code. We are seeing some generic stuff here, some some generic stuff, some really basic coding here. And if any of you has any doubt, can just call me, because from here we are slowly and steadily going to increase the level. I don't think that we have. I will just check again once more. No one is writing anything. So So let's just get back to it. Now we are XYZ. Okay, so now, as I said, that main is a function. Main is a function. Now, what is void? Why we have written nothing here? A word that means nothing, literally nothing. So why we write void is, now there is something known as return statement. Now I'll write another function for you. I want to return a string of my name. It should return. Okay, so what I have done right now here. Okay, I'll just do one more thing. I missed this. Okay. So what I've done is, when how to identify a function right now. It will have a close and open parenthesis. This one, basically used for arguments, and then this is this something is a body. This is where all the things, all the rules are, all the code, all the statements are in this. All right. So string my name, which will return Nitin. What is return? Return means it is going to send something. Where is going to send something? Anywhere where where I wanted to send. Now return Nitin. So return Nitin, it means it is returning a string. As I said before, that it is a data type and it is going to return a string. I can even put it int return 1. All right. Okay, I think this, I'll just click somewhere else. Okay. So yeah, int my name return 1. All right. So the basic thing is, when you put something other than void here, like int, boolean, even boolean is basically true and false. Okay, boolean, string, int, double, anything that you put here, it means it has to return something. You have to return something which is of that data type. Now, if you talk about the data types, I will show you one thing. Now, example of data types. Now, this is something that I would show is an example. String, how do you identify a string? Example value is that hi, how it's going, that's great. Basically, in this column. Now, what is int? As I said before, all the numbers that are ranging from minus infinity to infinity, and double is something that has decimal in it. That's all. That's all the difference between int and double. Int, there's no decimal. Double, there is a decimal. And what is variable? Dynamic. Dynamic is basically what we just understood as VAR. That variable thing is dynamic. You don't have to specify if it is string, if it is int, if it is double. You just have to write VAR, and the Dart compiler is smart enough that it will understand it if the input that you have given is a int, string, or a double. All right, so let's now keep on moving ahead. Now, as I said, that it should return string, my name. And what was my name? Say my name. Heisenberg. No, Nitin. So right now what we are going to do is we are going to call this. Now, understand this. What string is doing is basically throwing the ball. Okay, you remember when we were kids and we used to play, one used to throw the ball high up in the sky, and someone would just try to catch it. Now, what string my name is doing? It is throwing. It is returning that string Nitin. Now I need somewhere to catch it. Now I need someone to be its catcher. Now what I can do is I will just remove this, and I'll just do my name here. Okay, I just remove this. Okay. There you go. So string my name. This function is basically throwing the string Nitin, and this variable xyz is basically catching that name Nitin, and then it is going to print. Now I'm just going to tell you how the flow of this program, when you click run, what is actually the flow of the program. Now when you click run, my name is Nitin because xyz holds the value Nitin, as I said before, so it will just print there. Now when I press run, what the first thing that compiler is going to check is your main function. It will go on main function. Now it will go on this first line, var xyz. It would understand, okay, I need to allocate some data in my memory for this variable xyz. Okay, now it allocates xyz. Now what is on its right hand side is my name. Now as soon as as soon as the compiler encounters my name, it would switch to this. It would come on this. It would come on. Wait a minute. Okay, it would come on this function. This will be the function where it would come to. Now, so the entire command is shifted to this function, and it will return Nitin, and it will come here. Then it will just, and as soon as the value is returned, it will print my name is Nitin. So yeah, this is basically one of the basics code that we have written here. To be more understanding, this is how we do it. Now we declare a variable var. Now this is variable declaration. This thing is variable declaration. Variable is basically, now we have used the name. You have used variable name as name. You can use this anything. You can use you can use n, n2, n3, nam, na, anything. It's upon your choice. It's upon your liking. So what you're doing is we have variable declaration and variable initialization. Now, what is variable initialization? That we are allocating some value to that variable. Okay. Now, this is done because of the fact that your compiler, your code must understand that what value is associated with it. All right. So basically, we're connecting that name, that variable name, to the function name, my name. This is all we are doing. This is how you declare a variable in Dart or in any other language, except in some language you don't have variable declaration data type as var. Now, what are we doing in this function? The name of function is string my name. It is argument list. Now, argument list is something that will come on later. Right now, what defines a function is if you see this open and close parenthesis, and if you see this curly braces, you understand this is my name. Now, type of value that is to be written, and I said before that we have to return some type of value, so it will be returning string, and then therefore we are returning a string which is named Stephen. In my case, I named this Nitin. Now, as I said before, it is upon to my choice. Now, this is how the code went. We press run. Then the compiler will find main. There will be a variable declaration of it. Okay. Then it encounters a function and it switches to it. The function, this function will be executed. It will go back to main and print the print statement. Whew. All right. So I think this is what we have done with the basic thing. So does any one of you have any doubts? We'll take a 2-minute breather here. So just let this sink in. Okay, what if you want to write xyz as a text and as not as a variable call? What if we want to write xyz as a text as a variable call? Oh, that's a really good question. That's I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it later. Don't worry. I'll get back to it. Acha, you have already done. Use yeah, test true. Okay, let's you want to run this? Let's run this. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's run this code. Let's run this code. Okay, my name is paste. Okay. No. There you go. See. So this is what backslash is. So it was a correct answer from Rachita Samant. Thank you, Rachita, for simplifying my work. Okay, so again, does anyone, if you have any doubts, we'll just take a 2-minute breather here and we'll get back ahead, because now in the next thing that we are going to learn is object-oriented programming. So it's a really big thing and it's really important. So drink your water, keep yourself hydrated, and we'll get back into 2 minutes. Or you know what? Yeah, we'll just take 2 minutes break. After that, don't worry, you'll get much more. You'll get more break, bigger break after this. So let's take a 2-minute breather here. In the meantime, if you have any doubts, just write it and we'll just see. Okay, so we have some doubts here. Where can we add? Okay, Kamran, you know what? Let's try that. As I said, this is a playground. We are going to try everything. Let's run. You see, the return type cannot be var. When you are using a function, you cannot keep it as var. Var is used for variables. Now, this is a function. It is not a variable. So that's the reason we cannot use var here. Here you have to use int, string, or something like that, or boolean. Okay, so again, there's no error here. Let's just remove x, y, z. There you go. All right. So there's another doubt here. Where can we access full library of functions and data types? Now, functions you can make it on your own. It's upon you. I can make any function. About data type, just Google it. I think type data type in Dart, and you can get all data types, all examples of data type right there. So it won't be any issue. So yeah, I think as I said before, that Google is the best teacher you can have, way better than me, and you can answer everything. So yeah, let's get going. Now, as I said before, that we would be doing now object-oriented programming. Now, what is object-oriented programming? Let's just talk about that. As I said before, that object-oriented programming is nothing but what is it? All about basically in object-oriented programming. What we are going to do is we are going to decide what objects we are going to write, what classes we are going to write, so that our job gets simplified. Okay, now I'll just show you this. What is an object and what is a class? Now, class is something, a set of rules. Okay, take example of take example like this of a blueprint. When you take a flat in an apartment, in a building, an apartment in a building, all the buildings on all the floors are the same. They have to follow the same blueprints. Okay, but it like the area of each and every, like room, the area of kitchen, the area of living room, they have to be the same. But how I can customize it upon me? I want to keep a few. I want to make it pink color. I want to make it red color. I don't want to color it. I want to tile it. It's all upon me. So basically, but they would follow a basic building block, that is blueprint. And this is what we have in class. Now, what class does it? There is a set of rules, and there are some objects. There's some instances, some some few things that follow that rule. Okay, instances means a thing that will follows the rules that are set up by the class. That's it. That's all you need to know. So class is a set of rules, and object is a part of class, support of class, which is going to follow those rules. Now, as I said before, this is a hands-on session, and it will be great if we can do everything together, and it would be great if you can do it practically. So let's just begin the next thing. As I said before, it's a blueprint, and there is an instances to it. So everything will follow that set of rules compulsory. There's no if or else. They have to follow those set of rules. Okay. Now, okay. Okay, now we move ahead. So as I said before, void main is important. So I'm going to keep void main here. I'm not going to leave void main. I'm going to remove this. So I'm just keep void main here. Okay. So let's make a class. Now, for making a class, the thing is that you have to use this keyword class. So as soon as you use this keyword, it turns green. Dart understands that, okay, we are now going to specify some set of rules. Now, what is a class? Okay. Now tell me, when you meet a person, okay, if you meet someone you have no idea about, what is the first thing that you will ask? The first thing that you'll ask is, what is your name? There are some features. Every person has some defining features. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about something. Basically take name. Each and every person is identified by a name. How do you recall? Okay, I met him. Oh, that was his name. So that's the thing. Name. So every person, you meet any person, he will have a name. Okay, he has to have a name. All right. So let's make a class person, and there is a rule in it that it should have a name. Every person that we make, every object that we'll make from the class will have a name. Okay, kind of overwhelming. Don't worry, let's get to it. So we make our class person. Okay. Now just understand this. Class is basically done by this. Okay. Class. This is I think where we are. Yeah, class person. Now, as I said before, a class will have a person should have its name. So let's declare its name first. Now I'm just giving it first name. Okay. Now I use this method where the first letter of the variable is small, and then we the next word, the first character of that next word has to be capital so that it gets easy to identify. So first name, you can use this mnemonic. If you don't want, you cannot. If you don't want to use this mnemonic, it's upon you. As I said, naming a variable, it's upon you. You're doing namkaran, it's upon you, whatever you want to name your child. Okay, so first name, let's go again. Now, okay, if I ask its first name, it has to print something. So let's do print name. Let's have print name. Okay, now this is a function inside a class, print name, and what is going to do, it is just going to print. When I'll call this function, it is just going to print first. So what we have done here is basically we have just defined a rule. Defined a rule for the class person. Now a person has to have a first name, and when we'll call the print name, it will print the first name. That's all we have to do. All right, now we have done this. Now let's make person. Let's make a person. Okay. So let's have now I'm going to give you an advantage. Use var here, and let's name this person P1. You can name it even person, or you can name it person1, but I'll go with P1. Less cumbersome and less easy. Is equals to new person. Now what have I done here? This is what you call making an object. Now what we did was we defined a set of rules, and what we did was we made a new object P1. Now what P1 is going to inherit the rules. Now it should have first name, it should have this function of print name. All right, so as I said before, it is going to follow some rules. All right, so what we are going to do is, now if you want to name that rule, if you want to name something, we do is P1, we call that object dot first name. First name. Okay, it's not coming now. First name. Okay, I want to put first name as Nitin. All right. Okay, and I want to P1 dot print name. As you see, it is dynamic because right now we have not given it anything. Okay, we have not given it any any written data type, and if you want to just remove it, you can give it void because it won't return anything. Okay, so we'll just do print. Now I will just do this print. Now again, see, now it won't show dynamic, it will just show it's void, so it would not return anything. Now print name. Now if I run this, what we are going to get? Nitin. So it's simple. Understand this again. I'm going to let's revise this again. Now we have a class. Okay, class is basically a set of rules that we are going to define for someone. Now the rules that we define in a class person is string, that it should have a first name. Okay, whenever you ask someone, if I'll ask you, I'll be like, okay, what's your name? So it should have a first name. Then it would have a void print. We have named that. Okay, it should say out loud what its name is. So we have defined a function print name. Now I think we get this right now. All right, so this is what is basically classes and objects, and object-oriented programming is just this. You have to keep on deciding how are you going to divide your code into a class and into an object. This is all about object-oriented programming, and this is what Dart is all about. All right, so anybody of you have any doubts? Let's see this. If anyone here is Dart mostly similar to C++? It has some similarities, but not similar. Basically, as I said before, that it is more similar to C, JavaScript, and C#. So not C++ exactly, but yeah. So any one of you have any doubts? Any response would be great, guys.
इनपुट के लिए सिंटैक्स क्या है?
Sorry,
What would be the syntax for input?
do you mean if I want to write something here?
If I want input from the user.
It is difficult in Dartpad, so we are right now avoiding that in Dartpad because there is nothing where you can use your console. So right now we are not. There's something to do in Dartpad here. We'll come back on it later. Don't worry. There will be something about it ahead. Anyone else? I don't think that we have anyone. So, okay, now we move ahead. Now we are going to make it much more easier. Now, what if I want to make another person? Let's have another person. VAR person 2. Okay, we'll name it as person 2, another object. Okay, which will follow the same thing in the class person. Okay, just a second. We are losing people. All right. So person P2 is equals to new person. Now we are again initially making an instance P2, which is of class person. Now again we have to do this P2 dot first name is equals to let's say Anchit, and P2 dot print name. All right. Now let's run this. So you get this. Now, what if I want to know the last names as well? I want to know last names as well. So how are we going to do that? Do this. So let's have another string last name. So I have to do again these all thing p1 dot last name. Let's have this. My last name is Giri. Okay, and then my p2 dot last name is Banga. Yeah. Now if I print it, now okay, so I have to make one more change because the print is going to just print the first name now. So let's print the last name as well. Last name. Okay, let's do this. So you can see it print Nitin Giri and Anchit Banga. Now just tell me, don't you find this kind of weird? Like every time when I have to make a new person, I have to write these line of codes again and again and again. Now just see this. It's kind of cumbersome for me. I don't want. It might happen that I want to make 10 instances of person. I want to make 20 instances of person, and for each and every instance, I have to write this first name, last name, and then print name. It's kind of headache. So, for the sake of it, what we are going to use here is something called as another marvel of object-oriented programming, that is function. Now, why is this function so unique? Okay, now let me get this. When we wrote a function, when we defined a function, it comes in blue name. Let it come like it came here. Now, as I said before, the defining function, the defining feature of a function is that it should have a open and close parenthesis and this curly brackets. So why this came out in orange? Why not in blue? The reason, because it is same as the name that we have given of class. Now, what is a constructor? So constructor is basically a function which has the same name as that of the class. So when you put anything, now if I put another class, okay, example time, class YZ, and you put XYZ. As you can see, we have made another class and we have made a constructor here. Yeah, I think yeah, it just says that we have not used anything of it. I think yeah, the XYZ should have written type, but it does not. Okay, so clearly you can see that if you want to make a constructor, just give it the same name as type of the name of the class. That's it. That's all you have to do, and you have made a constructor. Now, why do we need constructor? It's in the name, constructor, something that will construct it. So all these things, all those things that we have given here, it will be done by this constructor. Now how? Now, as I said before, we are going to use something known as argument list. Now this is an argument list. We can see here, let's go back. Yeah, this is an argument list. Now, till now we have kept it empty, but right now we are going to add something in it. Let's add string f name, first name, a synonym for first name, and string l name. Okay. Now I'm going to write the code. Don't worry. Okay, it has to be the parameters are divided by a comma. So I'll just write the code and we'll get back to it. Okay. Then first name is equals to f name, and last name is equals to l name. Now, what have I done here? Some of you might think, what am I doing? Now understand, as soon as I write this line of code, as soon as I write parameters here, okay, we have got some errors here. What do they have? Positional record on line number 2. This is line number 2. Two positional arguments expected, but 0 found. Now, in a person bracket, we have written 2 arguments. Okay, oh, it's bad. And here we have 0 arguments. So that's the reason why we error. Now, whenever you put something in the argument list, it should denote something here as well when you're calling the. Now, this is what is which says calling a function. When we do this, we are basically calling the function. We are calling this constructor here. So it should have the data. Now, I don't need these 2 lines. I just delete these 2 lines. So you can see easily by using one constructor, I'm going to save so much space and so much of my time. Let's do this. Nitin, comma, Giri. And here we are going to do is Anchit, comma. There you have it. So this is what we are going to do. Now I'm going to explain what the code does. When we are making an object here, P1, person is called. Now person, as it shows before, it's a function, so it will call the function here, the function that we have already named, which is a constructor person. Now what is f name? Now understand this, in the sequence that you give the value in the function, जो आप value function में देते हैं, it is almost equal to this. Now f name would be Giri. Now this f name variable will be associated, f name will be associated with the string Nitin, and L name will be associated Giri. Now if I just do this Giri, and if I do this Nitin, okay, so now f name will be Giri, now L name will be Nitin. Now so you have to keep in mind, whenever when you are using functions, you have to make sure that your sequence is perfect. If you mess up the sequence, you are going to get some weird answers and some wrong answers as well, maybe just twisted answers. So there you go. Now what you are doing is f name is equals to Nitin and L name is equals to Giri. Now what we are now in this line we are doing is we are just assigning f name to first name and L name to last name. That means f name which is equal to Nitin, okay, f name which is equal to Nitin will be now equal to first name. So you know that A is equals to B, B is equals to C, then A is equals to C. Same thing will be done here. Now A is equals to B, okay, okay, A is equals to, yeah, A is equals to B, B is equals to A, C is equals to A, and then C is equals to B. Basically all that you are going to do. You know, right? A is equals to B, then B is equals to C, then A is equals to C. Okay, so the property that we are going to use is, so now first name is equals to Nitin, last name is equals to Giri, first name is equals to Anchit, last name is equal to Banga, and then we are going to just print p1.print1, and this function will call, and we are going to print first name and last name. So what you saw right now is that by just using this constructor, we are going to decrease line. Now I have a task for you. If some of you are coding with me, I'll give you a 5-minute task, simple task. I want you to add string to it, string gender. Now I want you to make changes in this, how you make change here, how you will make change here. Okay, make changes here. I've already made one change for you. You have to make one change here. And then you have to add one line here and one line here. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes you have to make to have this new variable gender. So I'll give you 5 minutes, and if you have any doubts, ask me till then, and I'll ask someone to actually explain me how you can do this. So let's wait for 5 minutes. All right. Let's so yeah, let's get back to so come on, try this. It will definitely help you. Come on, let's try this. This is how we will learn, by trying and doing.
Uh, Sir, we have to add gender as we have added first name and last name.
Yeah, same way that you have to do.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I hope you all guys are doing it. Just 2 more minutes, and then if anybody of you want to volunteer, so you can volunteer for it to share the answer. I think Anant Krishna has some doubt. So it's almost done, and I think we have Mihir Peswani who has given the answer. Yes, yes, perfect, 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 perfect. Yes, it's completely perfect. Nice one, Mihir. Great job. So I think if you have any, anyone of you is having any doubts, you can check the chat box. Mihir Peswani has given exactly perfect answer, but I'll just also give it right now. So what you can do is, let's have, so as I said before, we have to make few changes now. So for the string, as I said, okay, I think there's some problem. I don't know what's happening. Okay, there's some. Okay, now we are. Okay, now we're not still good. Okay, yeah, we're good now. So as I said before, we have to put string gender. So let's put gen, and let's give gender is equals to gen. Okay, and we have to print gen. And then as soon as you see, as right now I have 3 parameters here, and I've already defined 2 parameters here. So Dart raises the compiler, it raises an issue that okay, we have differences here. So remember this thing: when the argument list that you have given and the things that you are defining, it should be equal. Like if we are 3 here, it should be 3 here. So let's put male here, and let's put male here. Okay, let's put female here. All right, so let's run this code. As you can see, print gen. Okay, so my mistake, it should be gender. Now it's perfect. Now it should run. So this is what it is. Now, all right. You would be happy. It's like a first, maybe of all of your first objective programming code. Do any of you have any doubts in this? Any of you had any doubts in this? Anant, I don't know. Okay, Anant Krishna has written it. Yes, perfect, Anant, perfect, nice. Thank you so much. Great one. How to access specifiers in Dart? We'll come back to it. Don't worry. It's a big thing. We'll go back to it later. Don't worry. So, have everyone of you completed this, and do none of you have any doubt? Okay, no. So. Okay, you talked about access specifiers. Okay, so one thing, we don't have access specifiers in Dart. We don't have access specifiers in Dart. Okay, these are not supported in Dart language, so we don't need to go there. So access specifiers or modifiers are not a part of Dart language. I thought it okay for something else. So no need to take tension about it. It's much less headache. Like you have to do like public, private, protected. It's better here. So yeah, so there's no need of what is it, public specifiers here.
I have one doubt.
Yeah, ask.
As we are giving the arguments as in sequence, like first name, last name, and gender. And if
Yes.
we change the places, then the result will be wrong according to
Yes.
us.
Yes. Yes.
So is there any way if we interchange the places and the result will be right?
No, 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 it won't be, because the thing is, the compiler here is hard set rule. There's a hard set rule. It will, if it the first name will be connected to Nitin Giri. Nitin, you cannot change that, because that's how you have defined it. You have defined this rule. It will follow this rule. You have, whatever you give here will be associated. The first thing that you'll give here will be associated with first thing here, second with second, third with third. This is what you have to do. You cannot change this thing, especially in function. It's hard and fast.
Okay.
Okay. So now, okay. So although there is one thing that we can make your private, if we can use access modifier private if you want, so that to have limited scope, so that there is a limited scope in one class. But right now we don't need to jump into access modifiers, and it's a useless headache to take right now in Dart. So we want to be going through access modifiers. No need for go there. Okay, so let's okay, now let's make this more simple. Okay, now every time I have to name this F name, L name, gen, and then I have to connect with his first name, connect with last name, connect with gender. It's headache. I don't want to do this. What if I do this? Now I remove this. I'll remove this. Just a second. Okay, there's error. Okay, these are the errors that are being shown. Oh, that's cool, cool. So now I'm just going to remove them, and I'm just going to add this here. You can see that there is no error being shown. Now this is still a function which has no statement in it. So if I'll call this, you can see what it will do. Nothing, because as soon as the person will call, it has a string f name, l name, gen name, and as you know, we are not attaching it with first name, l name with last name, and gen with gender. So nothing will be printed, and anything that will be printed is null, because this is what the basic value, the first value of this string is going to be. Now let's so how are we going to do this? It's simple. Now I'll just remove this, and I'll use this keyword, this dot first name. Okay, I don't know why this is not working. First name, this dot last name, and this dot gender. Tada. So all those three lines of code that we did together could be done in this one line of code. We have to just use this keyword, this. You have to use the variable that we defined first, this dot first name, this dot last name, this dot gender, and it will print the same thing. And we can check this out right away. There you go, Nitin Giri, male, and Chizmana, female. All right, so I think we've done it. So this is like in the least form, it is one of the easiest form that you can use. So I'm going to give you another task right now. We have to now write string age. All right, and let this age be, we are putting it here as your age, your put it as a string, not as an int. Right now we are just or you can put it even as age, I don't mind. You can try this, you try using int. I want to see what it will do. Let's try this. Let's have int. So when you're putting int, you don't have to put these columns, you just have to put the number in its raw format, and that's all you have to do. And so you have to make changes here, make change here. I've already made one changes, so you have to make change here, and you have to make change here. So basically again, 1, 2, 3, 4 changes now. Last time we had to do 5 changes, now you have 4 changes. Now again, I'll give you 2 minutes, and okay, let's get back to it. Okay, let's give you 2 minutes. All right, I think Mihir and Krishnan have done this, and they are, I think, right. So if you look into Mihir's code, he writes string name, string first name is equals to those empty braces. Why he has done it? It's nothing new. It is if you want, you can add it. If you don't want, you don't have to add it. It's basically what it says. It's null string. There's nothing in that string. There is nothing associated with that variable right now. So yeah, it's not wrong. It's also perfect. What we got here last time, that entire null thing. This is what he has done. So again, those who had any problems, let's get to it. 21 years of age. Okay, 22. So you see, too many positional arguments found. So what we have to do is, again, this dot h, and we will print h. See, so it can be boolean, it can be string, it can be int, does not matter. Just use this keyword this, and you have your constructor for you. All right. So does anyone you have any doubts here? Because from here we are going to go to advanced level of object-oriented programming. It is going to take some time, and you'll understand each and every aspect of it. And I'm going to even share you some more some more documentation and all, so that you can give you some more tips. So yeah, does any one of you have any doubts here? Come out right now and just tell it, because from here we are going to just go in. Right now we are in second, third gear. We are going to sixth gear right away from here. So just tell me if you have any doubts. Anyone? Okay, can you show any other data type instead of void? All right, so if you have to have void, okay, let's have this. I think I showed in the previous your previous code, which was the data type we had of what do you say? We had of this of my name. Yeah, we have it of my name. So right now let's have the string. Okay, so as it has string, and our page was this. Does not end with the return statement. Yes, it will soon return first name, return, and we will return gender. All right. Try open the code of fixing the code before it can be reached. Dead code line number 19. Okay, so can anyone explain me what have I done wrong here? Why it says there's a dead code? Now, when you have return, there's only one return statement anytime. As soon as the compiler will compiler will notice this return statement, it won't go ahead. It will just return the value it needs to return, and it would just go back where it had to. It won't move ahead. So that's why these two lines are basically dead code. So in any function, you have to write return only once. You cannot have more than once. So okay, let's do this. So this is what I've done is I've commented these lines. So if just add two for backslashes on it, and it will be as a comment. So this won't be reached. This won't be read by the compiler at all. Now string first thread. Let's do this. So showing some issue. Wait just a second. Give me a second. What did I go wrong? Print. We want to print this first name. This. Okay, it's returning. Okay, yeah. So let's have this. So as I said, there's a thrower and there's a catcher. So we need a catcher here. String x. Let's have string x. This goes to this. Isn't used. And then we just use print x, or we can directly use this cult x, cult paste. Okay, so there you go. Cult copy, cult paste, p2 dot print name. So what I'm basically doing is we needed a catcher. So what is going to happen is as soon as it return first name, here p1 dot first name will be Nitin and it will get printed, and p2 dot first name will be p2 dot print name will be Anchit and will get printed. So yeah, that's what it is. So why, when I did not make some changes here, why this happened? Let me just go back. So when I made some changes here, why it showed nothing in it? Because as soon as I did a return statement, there was no one to catch it here. It was just calling that function and okay, it just returns. So there's nothing to print it. The return does not print something. The print statement is the one that will print. Return will just give you a value. It just throw back that ball, throw back that value. The thing that what a print thing is done by just and does just that print statement. Okay, now okay. Showed. So yeah, this is other type instead of word we have shown here that we have string, we can use int, so anything that you wanted. Now, so do you guys need any break of 10-15 minutes or we should move ahead? It's upon you. I think we should take a break here if you want and get refreshed. 10-15 minutes, we'll do a bigger project than this. Stay in this group, don't leave this, but we'll meet again after 10 minutes, okay? It's 5:30 right now, 6:30 right now, we'll meet by 6:40, 6:45, all right? Does it work for everyone? I hope that you all don't leave this seminar, okay? Please, so please stay here. Yes, okay, so grab a chair or something, yeah. Exactly, Anchit Banga, exactly. All right, so I'll meet you by 6:45, all right? Thank you so much. Oh, 6:45. Sorry, my mistake. 6:45 in 10 minutes. Hello. So let's get back to it, guys. I'll just give you one more minute so that we'll start in one more minute right away. Okay. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's just begin. So as I said before that before moving ahead, let's just revise this again. So as I said before, the class is a set of rules. An object is something that will follow those set of rules. It's an instance, okay? So this is what we made a class, and this is what we did was an object. Now, to make our thing, to make it more easier for us, we use constructors. Now, using this function, this dot keyword, we can easily assign this Nitin to this first name and then print all of it, and we have studied all of that now. So, you know what? Let's do a big project now. This is a big thing that we are going to do, a deck program. Now, I believe that many of you might have played with cards. So as you all know that in cards, there are 52 cards in total. A deck consists of 52 cards. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a program where we are going to make a deck. We have print all the cards in this deck. We are going to shuffle. Then we are going to shuffle that deck. We are going to bring cards with suit. Suit, you know, there are 4 suits in a card. There are diamonds, hearts, spades, and clubs. Then you have to deal that you remove some cards from the deck and you give it to someone, and remove a card that you mean permanently remove the card from the deck. So as you all know, as I said before, there are 52 cards right away, 13 of each suit. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll just skip 5 cards of each suit. That is ace, 2, 3, 4, 5 of hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades to make it a bit easy. So now we are given. Suppose this is something that is given you in your programming exam, that you have to make a deck program and you have to do this. So what would be your thinking process? Okay, so let's get through our thinking process. How we are going to go through it? Okay, I think we don't have it. So the first thing that we are going to think about is that. Just give me a second. I'll just come back in a minute. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, there you have it. Okay. Yeah, just a second. We are almost done. Yeah, let's do it back. Sorry, there was some minor glitch. I stop presenting again. I made some minor mistake. There was one thing that was missing, so we'll get back to it. Okay, so I think you can see my desktop right now. So this is what our program flow should be. So think about what different types of things exist in our app. So as we said before, that we have a deck. Now, what is a deck? Deck is basically a collection of cards. So there's a single card and there are multiple cards. So the deck is a collection of 52 cards. For in this sake, as I said before, that we are just going to consider 5 cards of each suit. So there will be 5 into 4. There will be in total 20 cards. So what different types of things exist in our app? So we have a deck and we have a card. So create a Dart class to represent each type of thing. Now these are 2 things that exist, so we have to make class of it. So I'm going to remove it. No need to copy it down. You will get this code. Don't worry about it. All right. So as I said before, that we have to make class of these things. So let's make class of deck. Okay, and then we'll make a class of card. Make sure that use a capital letter here. So it's better so that you can understand it's a class. All right, so moving ahead. So we have done this one part. Now this next part. What pieces of data should be tied to the thing? Okay, now tell me this. As I said before, a deck is a collection of cards. Okay, a deck is going to be a collection of cards. But what properties does a card would have? It would have a rank, that is ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, any of those, and it would have a suit, hearts, diamonds, spades, or clubs. So, and as I said before, deck is a collection of cards. So in this thing, as a collection, we will use a list. Okay, let's use a list of card, which is of this class, which will follow this something in this class, and we will name it as cards. All right, so, and as I said before, a class would have 2 things, a string that will show a rank, and it will have another string that will have suit. So I think it's pretty much clear here. We have just did 2 things, that is what different type of things that exist in our app and what pieces of data would be associated with. Now, anytime you make an app, you have to make through this, that what all the properties that are there. Like when we did that person class thing, we shortlisted some properties that are related to a person, and that would be some set of rules or properties that are related to that class as well. So let's move ahead. Now, how would we interact with each thing and data it contains? Add methods to represent each interaction. So for this purpose, I'll show you this. Now this was our all the things that we have to do. Now make a deck. Deck is a class. Card is a class. Now print cards. Now print card is something that we have to implement. So basically it's a method. Shuffle is a method. Cards with suit is a method, and deal and remove card is also a method. Now get this straight, that we have to use that card and deck, and we have to apply some properties on it, apply some function on it, and these all are the functions that we have to apply on it. Like we have to print all the cards, we have to shuffle all the cards, we have to get all the cards with suit, means if there is all the cards that have suit ace, have suit hearts, diamonds, or anything. Deal, that we remove some cards and give it to someone, and remove a specific card. These all things are method. Okay, the hint that is given you is, see how they are written. Print cards, the C a capital, it is clearly cut. It's a clear cut shown that yeah, we have to implement something as print cards method, like print cards, shuffle cards with suit, deal, and remove card. All right, so let's do this. So we will start one by one. First, let's do one thing, that we have to make a deck. Now what, as I said before, what would a deck consider? A card. Now we have to make cards. Ace of cards, hearts, ace of hearts, ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, ace of spades. So we, as I said, five ranks and 4 suits. So for the sake of it, let's begin. So now let's have a constructor, because as I said, we are constructing a deck. So we need a constructor. So let's see a deck here. We have a constructor for deck, and then we have a constructor for card. All right, so this is the basic thing that we have done right now. We have made our class, we have assigned them properties, we have assigned them variables, and we have assigned them constructors. Now our job is to see that what now we are going to take this thing ahead. Okay. All right. So yeah. So card. Now, okay. I have to make cards. I have to do something. So let's make an array. Now this array is of var. Let's make it dynamic ranks. Now this is an array. How to initialize array? You can see it here. Keep the square brackets, and using this, just keep on writing strings. So now, what is an array? Array is a collection of data which has same data type. Now, if I write ace here, I cannot go and write 20 here. Okay, because they are all different. So for the sake of this, we are just going to use this, and we are just going to use of what is it? Strings here. So ace 2, okay, 3, 4, and as I said, we will just focus on 5, not more than that. Now we have, as I said, we have suits, so we have to write suits as well. Now it would be hearts, it's hearts, it's diamonds, it's spades, and it will be of clubs. So there you go. I'll just hide this, because don't worry, we will see an issue. So yeah, here we have it on no single line. So this is what we have done. Now understand this. Now we have to take heart of ace, diamonds of 2, like hearts of ace, hearts of 2, hearts of 3, hearts of 4, hearts of 5. Now, if you remember something of permutation combination, when we have to have all the combinations of 2 sets, we hold one and we just combine it with each and every part of the next set. And that's what we are going to do here. We'll take hearts, hold one, ace 2, 3, 4, 5, diamonds ace 2, 3, 4, 5, spades ace 2, 3, 4, 5, and clubs of ace 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for this purpose, we will be using for loop. Now I'll just remove this, because many of you might not have any idea about for loop. So let's do this. Now I'll just quickly have a void main here. Now what is a for loop? So this is something that we already established. There will deck cards, it will have print card, shuffle, deal, remove card class, which will have 2 fields, string and rank. Right now it won't have any methods. We are not adding any methods as of now, but if we would need to, we'll see to it. Okay, so this is what for loop is. There is an initialization, there is a condition, and there's a condition, and there is text expression, and then there is body of loop. Okay, initialization, simple, it will initialize it. Condition, there is some condition, true or false, and then text expression, that is going to test. Okay, so let's do this. As I said before, there was something like hello world kind of thing. So let's do this. For int. Now this is initialization as said before. Now we are initializing this. Now I have to write a code where hello world is printed 5 times. Okay, I is less than 5. I'll just write the code and then I'll just dissect everything in it. Print and I hello world. Now you know what this and I'm thing means. So for int I is equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus will print hello world. Now if I just run it, what you're going to get on console is 0 hello world, 1 hello world, 2 hello world, 3 hello world, 4 hello world. So let me explain that how the things go now. For int I is equals to 0, we are going to initialize a variable int at I is equals to 0. Now, as I said before, that we have to run this code, run hello world. We have to print hello world for 5 times. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So why I did I less than 5 and what is I plus plus? We'll get to it. Now I plus plus is basically we have I plus plus. Plus means addition. So plus plus means that it will be incremented once, like 0 will be incremented 1, then it will be 2, 3, 4. Subsequently, it will get incremented. We can replace it by I is equals to I plus 1 if you have any doubt, or like if you think that, oh, it's not good. And if you want to have a shortcut version of it, I plus equal to 1, which are also meaning the same. So I plus plus, I is equal to I plus 1, I plus equal to 1, all mean the same. All right. So let's, for the sake of this, let's do I plus plus. So I is equals to 0. First it will go initialize I is equals to 0. So it will come in. If 0 is less than 5, it will say, yeah, it's true. So it will move inside the for loop. Print 0 hello world. So 0 hello world, yes, print out. Now it will move up. So as it is in for loop, it will now move to this test condition. It will get incremented I plus plus. That is 0 will be 0 plus 1. That is 1. So is 1 less than 5? Now initialization is done only once. You don't have to initialize it again and again. So I is equals to 0. Is 1 less than 5? Yes, it will print this again. Then it will get incremented 2. 2 is less than 5? Yes, hello world again. 3. 3 is less than 5? Yes. 4. 4 is less than 5? It will print hello world, 4 hello world. Now, as soon as it will, after 4 hello world, it will get incremented to 5. 5 is 5 less than 5? I want to have ask you all this. Is 5 less than 5? Will it return true or false? What will you say? 5 less than 5, true or false? Come on, guys. I need some answers. 5 is 5 less than 5? False. Anyone else who has to try? Okay, so Mihir is again right. So I is not less than 5. Like 5 is not less than 5 is equal to 5, not less than. So it will say it's false and it will jump out of the for loop, and that's where your for loop gets over. So this is a basic concept of for loop, that for a certain iterations mean repetitions, it will keep on printing what you want to print. So that's why we have got I is less than 5. We wanted to print hello world 5 times, and that's how we did it. Now we can do one more thing. I is less than or equal to 4. Okay, let's give it 5. Now tell me, if I put this as equal sign here, how many times it will get printed? Can someone tell me? Here we got 6 times. Perfect. So from I is equals to 0 to 5, again 0 is less than 5, 1 is less than 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is less than, or is 5 less than or equal to 5? Now there is a keyword here, is less than or equal to 5. So if any of the condition is satisfied, it will return that. So I is equal to 5, that's why it will go ahead, and that's why this loop will go for 6 times. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is basically what for loop is. Now there is something called as nested for loop, and this is what will be used by us in this coming in the last thing that we saw. All right. So the thing that we saw, I think it's still here. Yeah, it's still here. So it won't be an issue. So okay. Now we are going to use nested for loop. Now for nested for loop is something for within for, nested. There is a for loop inside for. Now we have already used the variable I, so we cannot use the variable I again. We'll use another variable. I generally prefer if after I use J, Now I'll just say you what. Okay, we want to have what is it? Have a program in which 11 to 15, 21 to 15, 31 to 15, 41 to 15 till 91 to 95 are done. Means 11 to 15, 21 to 25, 31 to 35, 41 to 45, 51 to 55 to 91 to 95. Now, how you are going to do this? So tell me, we can do one simple thing. We can have this grow from 1 to 9. The first for loop will go from 1 to 9. That is, the first for loop will represent the tens place. Now, and the next for loop will represent the units place. That is, we want to go till 1, 2, right? So let's put it in call it in the braces here. Okay, yeah, that's good. This is good. Let's do this and let's do this here. Okay, this is what we had to do. Now, instead of printing hello world, we will print 10 into I plus j. Okay, I think, okay, 10 into I, 10 into I, 10 into I plus j, and remove this, and there you go. So now what is going to happen is, let's first run the thing, then you can understand it easily. So you can see in my console 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, then 21, 25, everything is getting printed out here. So what we did is, now the first for loop, again, as I said, there are two lists from 1 to 9 and then 1 to 5. We are holding one here and we are connecting it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, so on. It goes on decreasing. It goes on increasing, incrementing it. So first it will go into bigger for loop. For int I is equals to 1, I is less than 9, I plus plus. So first I, it will get initialized, then it will come in and it encounter another for loop. इसको दूसरा for loop मिल जाता है, और दूसरे for loop में जाता है तो इसको पहले condition मिल जाता है j is equals to 1. So j is equals to 1, j less than equal to 5, j plus plus. So we have already I as 1 and j will keep on incrementing because right now we are in this, second for loop. So 10 into 1 plus 1, 10 into 1 plus 2, 10 into 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and there you go, 15. As soon as this will get over, it will check the condition for the outer for loop. Now, as soon as it gets out of this, it's here. The last. Now I will be incremented. Is 2 less than or equal to 9? Yes, it will move in again, and then for again j will be initialized. J will go from 1 to 5. So it means that initialization won't. You have to initialize once when you are in a for loop. Okay. As soon as you leave the for loop, you have to initialize it again. That variable will be initialized again, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's what we did here. We printed from 11 to 95 all the first 5 digits. Now I will show you what decrement is. What if I do decrementing? I want 95 to 11, same but in reverse order. Now it's greater than 1, I minus minus, and it will go to 5, greater than 1, j minus minus. Okay, so this is what you have. Now again we are going to just run this thing and it will go from 95. Now you see in the 11 thing is down and 95 thing is up. So how it works is, it will initialize 9. 9 is 9 greater than or equal to 1? Yes, it is. So it will move in again 5 to 1. It will the in the for loop will go from 5 to 1. So 9 into 10 into 9 plus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you get printed, and then it will be in, this is decrementing, that the value of I will be decremented from 9 to 8. It can be also written as I is equals to I minus 1, or it can be also written as I minus equal to 1. These are all the mnemonics that we can use it, but I minus minus 1 looks good and looks cool. So this is what for loop is. So now going back to this, as I said before, we are going to hold one and we are going to connect it with everything. So let's do that right away. So okay, for, let's write here, for int I is equals to 0. Now I want to traverse through the element. Now for that purpose, when you have to traverse through an array, you use I is less than, first we'll use suits dot length, I plus plus. Now what is suits dot length? Now array has some properties. Now dot length is one of them. When you use suits dot length, what it will actually do, it will return an integer. Now what integer it will return? It will return the number of elements that are present in the suits array. So how many elements are present in the suits array? 1, 2, 3, 4. So from I is equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. It means it will, this loop will go for 4 times 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. As I said before, it is I less than 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Fourth won't be executed because 4 is not less than 4. Understood? So again, as I said before, we have to hold one, and when you have to do that combination thing, you generally use this nested for loop. Int j is equal to 0, j less than ranks dot length. Same thing. It will return 5 here, and j plus plus. Now what we are going to print here is simple. Now we are making a card here. So let's call this class card here right away. So let's have a variable whose name is card, and we are we are going to instantiate the object here. We are going to make an instance of card which has name small letter card. Okay, so let's do this, and then we have suits.i, comma suits.i means this says that what element is at that point. So now heart said that I is equal to 0, diamond set I is equals to 1, I is equals to 2, I is equals to clubs at I is equal to 3. So this is what, as the value of I increases or decreases, that element will be referenced, or that element will be called. Now we go to ranks of I is equal to j, and there you go. Now this is what we have. We got a card. Now why is showing error here? I don't know. Suits I think it is right. Come on, I think it's showing some. It's not. What is error? Let's see what is there. Too many expositions, and okay. So you get what we are doing. We have too many positional arguments. 0 expected, but we found 2. Here in the card constructor, we have not yet used that this function. So let's use that this. Now it should be in the same way that we have mentioned here. So this dot suits, and now we have made constructor this dot ranks. Sorry, rank. It won't be rank. It will be rank. Yeah, suit, because we have singular suit here and we have singular rank here. Now you see that error is gone. Okay, so this is what we have, and now, as I said before, now we have made a card. Now this is a single card that we have made. Now we have to put it in the deck. So what we are going to do is cards dot add is that add card. Now this is something that dot add is another property of the thing list. So if you want to add something, if you want to put something in the list, we just put add. Okay, so there you go. Now when I'll run this, mind you, you're going to see an error. You won't see what we want to see. Okay, first, oh my god, this is, yes, as I said, there would be an error. So we have no main function right now. As I said, I miscompleted the main function. So what we are going to do is let's do this. We are just going to call new deck. We are just where deck is equals to, we are not going to print anything right now, but still it is going to give us an error. Now new deck, this is what we wanted, and there you go. Okay, so as I said, deck has no argument, so here we don't need to put any arguments. So if we run this, we are going to see some error. Yes, cannot read property add. Now this is your problem. The problem is that list is not properly defined. We have not started, we have not, there's a declaration of list is not proper here. When you have to define a list, this is how you define it. We give it empty list. Now this square brackets denote an empty list, as I've shown you before that Mihir used in string. He used this empty for a string, like for a string x, he used an empty null like this. So you know, string is Dart is smart enough when it comes to something like string or something, but when it comes to list, it gives you an error, because list, you have to define a list properly. This is what we say syntax. Now we have to make sure, as I said before, we have to follow some rules, we have to follow some syntax, and that's what we are following right now. Okay, so right now moving ahead. So this is cars.add. Now if we run this, we are going to see something. and it will be interesting. As I said before, we are not going to print something. So right now we have no error as of now. All right, so I think we have done till now. What we have done till now is we have made a card. We have made our cards and we have made it and we have put them in the deck. So right now we have done these things. Does anyone have any doubt? So if you have any doubts, tell me, because from here we are going to put into methods. We are going to methods, and it is going to get much more complicated from here. So if you have any doubts, please ask right now.
डेक में एक रिटर्न टाइप होना चाहिए.
हाँ अभी है नहीं. We'll put it. Don't worry. We'll put it. Don't worry. वो मेरा आगे का पार्ट है कि हम लोग कहाँ पे प्रिंट करेंगे या रिटर्न करेंगे. आप टेंशन मत लो, अभी उस पर आएंगे आगे. सो राइट ना जितना मैंने पढ़ाया उसमें कुछ भी डाउट? Sorry. Okay, I don't think we have doubts. So without wasting much time, let's go. I think it's getting exciting from here. Right now we
check
have
your teams.
Okay, we have why is it list of cards? Okay, so as I said, that list is a collection. Now deck, as you know, is a collection of cards. So that's why we have put card there. Now we have already defined the this card class here. So you can use, what card is here is a collection of objects card. Now it might come to you, but what we are doing is, we are in this deck, what we are doing is, this new card thing, we are making a new object card every time. Okay, and this new object is getting added in this list. So basically list card is a collection of objects card. Okay, you can use string here, you can use int here, but right now what we need is a collection of cards. So that's why we have put in a card in here. All right, is it clear, Isa? Yes. Okay, cool. So let's move ahead just a second. Okay, so let's go now. Yeah. So right now let's do one thing. As I said, we have not added some print thing, and let's print this deck. Now you would be disappointed. We won't get what we want. Let's see. Print deck. We have instance of deck. Now this is something interesting, and it would take some time. When we put print, it first checks, do you have toString method? If so, run it. So in this deck, in this class deck, do we have a toString method as of yet? We don't have a toString method. So what it is doing is, it is just giving you something that is instance of deck. And right now this is what it is. Deck, this small letter deck, small d deck, is actually an object or instance of this class deck. So it is what it is giving. It is giving it is an instance of desk. So how are we going to print cards? So for this purpose, as I said before, we need toString method. So we need to have a toString method in our class deck. So this is where deck constructor gets over. So just after this, we will put toString. This is a toString function, toString method. Let's do this. So now return cards. Now, is it going to solve it? You see an error here. What error does it mean? The value of type cards can't be used because from the method toString, because it has return type of string. Now toString has a return type of toString. It means it is converting that thing into a string. So it has a return type of string, which is not visible here, but we can see because it has return type of string, it is already predefined. toString has something that has a return type of string. Now cards does not have a return type of string. It is actually a card. So how to do it? So what we are going to do is toString. All right. So now if we do again run, what we are going to get? Now we have instance of card, instance of card, instance of card. So we have a breakthrough. We move into the deck. As you can see, it is in square brackets. So let me just hide it. We are into the deck, but now we have instance of card. As you can see, because there is no toString method, there is no toString method right now in the card, in the class card. So right now we just do this toString, and here we are going to return a statement. What statement it would be? Now we need ace of diamonds, ace of ace of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds. So we are going to do is ace. So first we are going to rank of where it is suit. So this is what we'll get. Now basically, now understand this. We did print deck, but the problem with print deck was we have no print usually finds toString method. So there was no toString method in deck and our card. So first we made a toString method in deck. So we tried to return cards, but cards was not in the form of toString. So we have to convert it into toString. And for that toString, we have to make another toString. So it's basically for printing, we are employing a toString, which is in turn employing another toString. Because as I said, deck is a collection of card. So first at a basic level, at the basic level, you apply toString, that is at the card. Then you apply toString in the deck, and then you apply toString at the whole. So this is kind of a hierarchy thing. toString at a card, then toString at a deck. Okay. So if we print this now, we are surely going to get what we desire. So ace of hearts, 2 of hearts, 3 of hearts, 4 of hearts, 5 of hearts, ace of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, ace of spades. So we have all the 20 cards here. So we have completed our first job, that is we have done is print card. So we have print card all in deck. Now the next task is that we have to do is shuffle. Now
अगर हमने कार्ड्स का लिस्ट प्रिंट किया रहता तो क्या आता था तभी, अगर टू स्ट्रिंग नहीं लिखते थे तब?
So अभी हम लोगों ने ये यहाँ पे टू स्ट्रिंग हटा दिया. We are just returning cards. So we won't get it because list is list, and because can't be assigned to a type string. Now this cards is of the data type list of card, but we have to return something of string. समझ रहे हो? मतलब यहाँ पे डेटा टाइप सही होना चाहिए, राइट? अभी मैं यहाँ पे अगर ये करूंगा, लेट्स पुट दिस.
वैसा नहीं बोल रहा था. अभी हमने इधर रिटर्न वैल्यू डाले ना, पर अभी हमें कार्ड्स का वैल्यू में एक लिस्ट मिल गया है, मतलब लिस्ट में हमने वैल्यूज डाल दिए है ना?
यस, लिस्ट में वैल्यूज डाल दिए.
हाँ, तो हमने डायरेक्ट वो लिस्ट प्रिंट किए रहते तो?
हाँ, तो मैं अच्छा सीधा लिस्ट प्रिंट करना है, ठीक है. लेट्स ट्राई दिस. ओके, प्रिंट cards. What will it say? Error. What error it is? Let's see the error. Print must have a method body because deck isn't abstract. Try making deck abstract or adding a body to print. Now deck एक instance है, एक abstract मतलब समझ रहे हो आपकी, आप उसको देख नहीं सकते. It is something that is not in the physical form. So deck is object है, एक instance है, तो उसको आप print नहीं कर सकते. इसके लिए हम यहाँ पे यूज करते हैं टू स्ट्रिंग, सो दैट वो जो इंस्टेंस है उसको हम लोग एक स्ट्रिंग में कन्वर्ट कर देते हैं. नॉट स्ट्रिंग इज समथिंग दैट द डार्ट कंपाइलर कैन आइडेंटिफाई. उसको ये समझता है कि नहीं एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नहीं है, ये मैं देख सकता हूँ बिकॉज इट हैज सम डेटा वैल्यू, इट हैज सम लोकेशन. सो दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई वी कन्वर्ट इनटू टू स्ट्रिंग, बिकॉज स्ट्रिंग इज नॉट एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. अंडरस्टूड? आई थिंक इफ इट इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल टू गॉट इट. सो ओके, लेट्स जस्ट पुट इट बैक. कुछ और डाउट है तो अगर नहीं समझा तो बोलो, कोई इशू नहीं है. आई हैव नो इश्यूज इन इट. सो अगेन इफ यू हैव जस्ट पुट सम अनदर स्ट्रिंग हियर, दिस इज अ स्ट्रिंग या प्रिंट कर लेता बिकॉज वहां पे एरर की बात ही नहीं है, बिकॉज ये स्ट्रिंग है और टू स्ट्रिंग को स्ट्रिंग ही रिटर्न करना है. बट व्हेन यू पुट कार्ड्स बोलते हैं कि नहीं स्ट्रिंग है ही नहीं, ये तो एक लिस्ट ऑफ कार्ड्स है, तो इसको हम लोग कैसे प्रिंट करते हैं? इसके लिए हम लोग करेंगे टू स्ट्रिंग हियर बेसिकली. सो यहाँ पे एरर हट गया, कोई इशू नहीं, और हम लोग को अपना सारे प्रिंट मिल गए. ओके, सो दिस इज वन टास्क डन. अभी यहाँ तक इसको डाउट है तो बोलो, बिकॉज अभी हम लोग को एज यू कैन सी वी हैव 4 more methods to make. These are easy methods and I'm going to give you some tricks and some tips कि अपना easily बन जाए. So do you have any other issues? Let me just check the chat. Why list a card? Okay, so anyone has any more doubts? Should I move ahead? Should I? Say something, come on. Okay, no doubts. Or should I not move ahead? Okay, I'm assuming that he said no doubts. So let's do it. Now, we have to shuffle. So for this sake, we are going to go on a link that I'm going to give you. .api.dartlang.org. Now let's just open that. api.dartlang.org. Now this is something, they are packages. These are basically APIs. This is all the documentation that you need of libraries. That what someone asked me about data types and functions and libraries. This is what you have. This is everything that you need to know about Dart, all the functions, all the functionalities that you have. Now, where do we have work here? Now, there are some core libraries like Dart.async, collection, convert, core, developer, math typed data. So if you can see here, there's Dart core, Dart HTML, Dart IO. So Dart core is core functionality such as strings, numbers, collections, Dart HTML, DOM manipulation of web apps, and Dart IO is input output for non-web apps. So as we have something now, what we have to do in Shuffle is we have this list. Okay, we have this list of cards. Now we have to shuffle it. Now this problem is associated. Now this thing is associated with collection. So just a second. Why is column this? Okay, you're back. So I assume that as a core functionality such as string, numbers, and collection will go to Dart core. Now, if you see built-in types, collections, and other core functionalities for every Dart program, this library is automatically imported. Some classes in libraries such as string and num support Dart in built-in types. So this is everything that you need to learn. Now, this is documentation. So take note of this site. This is the site api.dartland.org. In future, if you have any other issue regarding this, just use this, just go on this and read the documentation. There is tons of documentation that you can read and you won't have any problems with it. So now let's go in classes. Now we have this issue with list. So let's go with list. Now list, an indexable collection of objects with a length. Now as I said that what was this here? Oh, this is not good. Let me just put it here. Yeah. So as I said before, Dartpad is this list was a collection of objects. So this is what we have here. Okay, I think I should keep this here and this here. This is giving an abstraction. Okay, so right. Okay, so fixed. There are some of the properties that are related to class that has fixed length list and that is growable list. Like you can keep on adding when you have an array. You have to define the size of that array. You cannot keep on adding in it. But in a list, you can keep on adding without giving the size of the array. So there are some methods in it. So we'll just scroll down. There are some constructors. There are some properties. There are some methods. And now there will be a method which will be named as shuffle. Now you can clearly see a shuffle. Shuffles the element of this list randomly. So you don't have to do anything here. You just have to do is we have to call something. We now we'll write another function after toString. We'll write another method called shuffle, and we are just going to do is what we are going to do is it is going to do cards.shuffle. Now if you can see shuffle, it is already present, so it means it is one of the properties. It is already one of the methods specified in the data type of list. So let's do this, and there you go. Now what I have to do is, okay, I just decrease the documentation thing, so it will be much more easy. So we are now print deck. Now we are going to do is print deck dot cards shuffle. So now just look at how the the arrangement of this thing is, and now see what will the arrangement of shuffle thing would be. So now you can see it shows null. Now why does it show null? We have to think of that. Can anybody tell me why does it show null? Anyone? Okay, now you understand this. Card shuffle is a function. All right, card shuffle is a method, but this card shuffle does not have any toString. And as I said before, print will always look for toString method. There is no toString method associated with card shuffle. ToString method is associated with deck. So if you want to print it, this is what we are going to do. We are going to do deck.shuffle, and we are going to print only deck because toString is associated with the deck object deck. Now let's do this. So you can see here we have shuffled our cards: ace of hearts, two of hearts, three of hearts. Now we have four of spades, ace of spades, five of clubs, completely random. If I do it again, it would again come out randomly. Five of spades. Now just keep on doing two of spades, three of spades, ace of diamonds. So this is what shuffle is. So using some methods like these, you can really make your work simple. Now we just had to call that function, and that's all we had to do. This is easy, no issue about that. ऑलराइट, नाउ वी हैव
मतलब
डन।
अगर डार्ट में हमें कोई और डेटा टाइप प्रिंट करना रहा तो हमें टू स्ट्रिंग यूज करना चाहिए, है ना?
यस, मतलब डेटा टाइप क्या होता है कि यहाँ पे जो डेक है, अब आप ये समझो कि प्रिंट हमेशा जो रहता है टू स्ट्रिंग देता है। अभी अगर सपोज मैं यहाँ पे क्लास डेक नहीं रखता, सपोज मैं यहाँ पे कुछ और रखता, यहाँ पे अगर मैं स्ट्रिंग रखता, तो स्ट्रिंग के पास ऑलरेडी टू स्ट्रिंग तो पड़ा हुआ है ना, वो ऑलरेडी डिफाइंड है। यहाँ मैंने क्या किया, कार्ड जो एक ऑब्जेक्ट है वो हम लोग डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, वो डार्ट में डिफाइन नहीं किया हुआ है। इसके लिए हम लोग को टू स्ट्रिंग वहां पे एक ऐड करना पड़ेगा। ये एक सिंपल चीज है जो हम लोग को वहां पे देखना पड़ेगा, समझा?
अच्छा, मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट कौन से भी
Object.
टाइप का हो, हम उसे सीधे सीधे स्ट्रिंग में दे देते हैं
यस,
ताकि क्लास को मालूम हो कि हम लोग क्या प्रिंट करना
क्या
चाहते हैं।
प्रिंट कर रहे हैं। ओके, यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग ने इसको प्रिंट करते तो फिर वो बोलता है कि नहीं ये तो स्ट्रिंग है ही नहीं, इसके लिए हम लोग टू स्ट्रिंग कर दिया कि इसको स्ट्रिंग में ही कन्वर्ट कर दिया। बाकी जब आप अगर आप लिस्ट ऑफ इंट होता, लिस्ट ऑफ स्ट्रिंग होता, लिस्ट ऑफ एनीथिंग बुलियन होता, तो उसमें आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं, बिकॉज वो सब में ऑलरेडी टू स्ट्रिंग मेथड डिफाइंड है। ये हम लोग ने अपने तरफ से एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, तो इसके लिए हम लोग ने अपने तरफ से डेफिनेशन टू स्ट्रिंग का डाला है। ओके, सो वहां पे टू स्ट्रिंग का हो गया और यहाँ पे शफल का हो गया। ओके, सो शफल थिंग इज डन। नाउ वी हैव कंप्लीटेड, let's keep this thing. Okay, I think I've scrolled up. Okay, so now we have complete print cards. Now shuffle. Now we need cards with suit. Now what is going to happen is, let's do this. We are going to have another thing here where returns a new lazy iterable with all elements that satisfy the predicate test. So what where does it? It is going to do one thing, डेट वो चेक करेगा कि वो चीज इक्वल है या नहीं है। अगर ट्रू है तो उसको आपको जो आपका कंडीशन है, जो आपने स्टेटमेंट लिखा है वो एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, अगर ट्रू नहीं है तो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा। सो लेट्स डू दिस। नाउ वी हैव मेड टू स्ट्रिंग, वी हैव मेड कार्ड शफल, नाउ वी हैव टू मेक अनदर कार्ड्स विथ सूट। ओके, नाउ लेट्स हैव दिस। नाउ दिस फंक्शन, इसको हम लोग स्ट्रिंग सूट देंगे। क्यों? ये वो स्ट्रिंग सूट है जो हम लोग को चाहिए। अभी यहाँ पे हम लोग वो एंटर करेंगे कि हम लोग को कौन सी चीजें चाहिए, जैसे हम लोग डायमंड का चाहिए सूट, जैसे हम लोग को स्पेड्स के सारे चाहिए, तो वो सभी हम लोग को चीज पता चलेंगे। ऑलराइट, सो स्ट्रिंग सूट। तो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू इज रिटर्न, ओके, कार्ड्स एक लिस्ट है, लिस्ट डॉट वेयर। अब आप देखेंगे वेयर बुलियन कार्ड, वेयर कार्ड। अभी इसके अंदर हम एक और चीज डालेंगे which is going to define it where, okay, I think there was some issue, return यहाँ पे है, cards with यहाँ पे है, इसको यहाँ पे करो so that it's understand what is the error. Let me just see, should have a return time. Okay, so return cards dot suit equal to suit. Okay, now this is a big thing. Okay, ये थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड पार्ट है। यहाँ पे हम लोग को दो फंक्शन इसी तरीके के लिखने हैं। सो जो हम लोग ने यहाँ पे लिखा है ये लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट ऑफ फंक्शन है, ठीक है। नाउ व्हाट इज बेसिकली ये वेयर फंक्शन क्या कर रहा है, ये जो कार्ड्स विद सूट है, अभी हम लोग यहाँ पे आपको फॉर द सेक ऑफ, यहाँ पे हम लोग ये शफल हटा देता हूँ मैं, सो दैट इट्स बेटर, प्रिंट डेक हटा देता हूँ, एक प्रिंट डेक कर गया। सो व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू इज, we are going to do is deck, let's do this, deck dot cards with string, and we are going to add some string in, that is diamonds, as we have kept plural there, diamonds. Okay, cards with suit diamond। तो अभी क्या होगा, जैसे अभी cards with suit ऑलरेडी एक मेथड है, सो हमने ये मेथड कॉल किया। नाउ दिस, एज आई सेड बिफोर, कि ये मेथड ये इसके पैरामीटर्स है, तो नाउ दिस सूट इज इक्वल टू डायमंड। सो जो हम लोग को ये सूट जो यहाँ पे है वो डायमंड है। अब ये कार्ड्स डॉट वेयर क्या कर रहा है, कार्ड्स डॉट वेयर बेसिकली क्या करता है कि वो आपका इटरेट करते रहता है। अब कार्ड्स डॉट वेयर पूरा जो लिस्ट ऑफ कार्ड्स था, जो आपने जो लिस्ट ऑफ कार्ड्स देखा था, उसमें वो मूव इन करेगा फ्रॉम स्टार्ट टिल एंड। ऑलराइट, सो स्टार्ट से एंड तक वो पूरा इटरेट करेगा और वो चेक करेगा कि क्या वो सूट, जो कार्ड का सूट है, वो क्या इस सूट से मैच कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है। यू गेट इट? मतलब सिंपल वे में ये बोलूंगा कि एक मिनट, कार्ड्स डॉट सूट, कार्ड डॉट सूट, या ओके। सो जो एक कार्ड, जो अपना सिंगल कार्ड है, क्या वो डायमंड है या नहीं। अगर डायमंड है so it will return it. If it is not diamond, it won't do it. ठीक है, so अभी हम लोग क्या करते हैं, let's do this, let's run this, what we'll have, let's see. अभी तो यहाँ पे यही है बिकॉज हमने कुछ प्रिंट ही नहीं किया है, तो यहाँ पे cars.var, यहाँ पे ये हो गया. अभी हम लोग इसको ट्राई करते हैं, लेट्स ट्राई दिस. ओके, अभी आपको वापस पता चलेगा कि क्यों print. Let's run this again. There you go. Now it is returning everything. So we have all the things that are associated with ace of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds. Now I don't want diamonds, I want spades. So let's have spades. So there you go, ace of spades, 2 of spades, 3 of spades, 4 of spades. So basically आपका फंक्शन यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा है, कार्ड विथ सूट जो क्या कर रहा है, वो आपका सूट ले रहा है, ठीक है, रिटर्न कर रहा है कार्ड.var, और हर एक कार्ड को गो थ्रू करेगा और उसके थ्रू वो चेक करेगा कि अगर वो सूट सेम होगा तो फिर वो प्रिंट करेगा, रिटर्न करेगा. इफ इट इज नॉट ट्रू, इट वोंट रिटर्न दैट थिंग. इसके लिए आप देखेंगे एस ऑफ स्पेड्स, 2 ऑफ स्पेड्स, 3 ऑफ स्पेड्स, ये सब इसी ऑर्डर में, एक ही ऑर्डर में आ रहे, जिस ऑर्डर में वो हम लोग को मिले थे, जिस ऑर्डर में .var ने उसको स्पेसिफाई किया था, एस डॉट स्पेड्स, 2 ऑफ स्पेड्स, 3 ऑफ स्पेड्स, 4 ऑफ स्पेड्स, और उसी ऑर्डर में हम लोग को मिल रहा है बिकॉज इट इटरेट्स फ्रॉम स्टार्ट टू बॉटम, एंड जहां जहां पे उसको ट्रू होता है वो चीज वो रिटर्न करता है. सो आई थिंक इफ इट इज क्लियर, इज इट क्लियर एवरीवन? We have a good crowd, some doubts puches, so it's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, okay, tell.
Can you repeat this cards with suit method?
Okay, again let's do it again. So cards with suit method का काम क्या है कि हम लोग को एक सूट डालना है और वो उस सूट से रिलेटेड सारे कार्ड्स हम लोग को दे देगा. Now if I put diamond here, if this suit is equals to diamond or spades, it will return me every card that is present of that spade. Now अभी आप यहाँ पे आप देखते हैं .var returns a new lazy iterable with that satisfied the taste. So अब iterable e, that is list, that हम लोग का कार्ड का जो लिस्ट था, एक boolean टेस्ट रहेगा और एक एलिमेंट रहेगा. So इसमें क्या करे, .var क्या करता है कि वो पूरा लिस्ट गो थ्रू करेगा, फ्रॉम दिस एस ऑफ हार्ट से लेके 5 ऑफ क्लब्स तक वो पूरा लिस्ट गो थ्रू करेगा, और जहां पे भी जो सिंगल कार्ड का जो सूट हम लोग को चाहिए, जैसे हम लोग को स्पेड्स का सूट चाहिए, वो सूट जहां पे भी इक्वल होगा वो बोलेगा यस और उसको रिटर्न कर देगा, और वो चीज हम लोग यहाँ पे कर रहे हैं प्रिंट. जब यहाँ पे रिटर्न हो रहा है हम लोग उसको कर दे रहे हैं प्रिंट. अब आप पूछेंगे यहाँ पे प्रिंट क्यों चल रहा है, जैसे यहाँ पे हमने जब शफल किया था तो उसमें प्रिंट नहीं चल रहा था, बट यहाँ पे प्रिंट क्यों चल रहा है, बिकॉज व्हाट वी आर रिटर्निंग is actually a string. Now see this, return card.suit is यहाँ पे जो हम लोग चीज कर रहे हैं ट्रू हो रहा है, और इसका हम लोग वही चीज स्ट्रिंग में रिटर्न कर रहे हैं. सो इसके लिए कार्ड्स विद सूट में हम लोग को वहां पे प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट उसमें चल जा रहा है. सो अभी समझा या फिर और इजी वे में समझाऊं?
क्लियर है?
क्लियर है? श्योर? ओके, सो यस, कूल. सो हम लोग ने, ये थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स मेथड लग रहा है, आई एग्री, क्योंकि लोग को डाउट आया था. सो ये है लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट. अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ एक शॉर्टकट ट्रिक. यहाँ पे आपको ये रिटर्न हटा देना है, ये कर्ली ब्रेसेस हटा देने हैं, और इसको बैक, इसको बैक. आप नोटिस करेंगे इसने अब तक मेरे को नहीं दिया था एरर, और अभी ये एरर देगा. सो उतना सेव करने से अच्छा आप एक इक्वल टू साइन और एक एरो साइन. There you go. This is all that you have to do. Now we have to return this, remove this return, and that's true. तो अब ये इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, मोर सिंप्लीफाई में, cards.var जो सिंगल कार्ड है, ठीक है, वो सिंगल कार्ड को हम लोग लेंगे और उसका हम लोग सूट कंपेयर करेंगे जो सूट हम लोग को चाहिए. ऑलराइट, और जब वो ट्रू हो गया तो वहां पे प्रिंट होगा, अगर ट्रू नहीं होगा तो प्रिंट नहीं होगा. सो आप जो लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट था इसको हमने शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट किया, और कम ऑन, दिस लुक्स हेला कूल. ये एरो साइन बहुत कूल है. सो आई थिंक वी विल यूज दिस, एंड इट्स मच मोर वे, एंड इट्स मच क्लीनर वे दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड. या
अगर हमने वेयर को बस कंडीशन जैसे यूज किया रहता तो वेयर के अंदर बस card.suit इज इक्वल टू सूट डाले रहते तो, और वो
सो चलिए वो करते हैं. लेट्स डू,
उसके पहले नहीं डाले रहते.
लेट्स डू दैट्स द थिंग. ये हमने बोला जैसे कि ये प्लेग्राउंड है, सो विल डू द प्लेग्राउंड थिंग. So where card or suit is equals to copy, it's we just paste it here and अपने को तो ज़रूरत नहीं है तो इसको इतना ही करते हैं और ये एक ऐसा रहेगा। आप देखेंगे यहाँ पे एरर बताएंगे बिकॉज हम लोग ने इसके अंदर का कुछ चीज़ बताया नहीं है। अब कार्ड डॉट सूट, अब इसके अंदर हम लोग कुछ वैल्यू डालना पड़ेगा। सो यहाँ पे अगर हमने चेक किया, सो रिटर्न व्हाट यू वांट टू रिटर्न, व्हाट यू वांट टू रिटर्न, लेट्स रिटर्न पहले ये एरर देख लेते हैं। लेट्स सी दिस एरर, undefined class suit, try changing a name to the name of existing class or create a class with the name card dot suit। अब आप ये समझिए यहाँ पे card dot suit करके कोई क्लास ही नहीं है, that's the problem। हम लोग को जो कार्ड जो हम लोग को यहाँ पे चाहिए क्लास चाहिए था, तो हम लोग यहाँ पे इसके लिए ये कार्ड डाले थे। now card is an instance of class, now card, this card is an instance of class this card, you get it। यहाँ पे हमने कार्ड डिफाइन करके रखा हुआ है, दिस कार्ड यहाँ पे वी आई कार्ड इक्वल टू न्यू कार्ड, इट्स एन ऑब्जेक्ट। सो हम लोग को यहाँ पे एक ऑब्जेक्ट दिया था, तो हम लोग यहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्ट दिया और इसके लिए हम लोग को यहाँ पे रिटर्न कार्ड्स डॉट सूट इक्वल टू सूट, दैट्स वी हैव टू डू। बिकॉज हम लोग यहाँ पे जो कंपेयर कर रहे हैं वो हम लोग ये कंपेयर कर रहे हैं एक क्लास में, और जो कार्ड है वो एक्चुअली में एक ऑब्जेक्ट है। सो वो क्लास का ही पार्ट है, वो जो रूल को फॉलो कर रहा है, इसके लिए वो कार्ड और सूट आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पा रहा। अब यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे इटरेबल टेस्ट, इसमें तो वैसा कुछ दिया नहीं हुआ, बट यही है कि कार्ड यहाँ पे हम लोग क्लास चाहिए था, इसके लिए हम लोग ने वहाँ से गो थ्रू करने के लिए हम लोग ने ये किया। तो मे बी बिट इन क्लियर, अगर आपको है तो आप वापस बोलिए, हम लोग वापस को ट्राई करते हैं।
यहाँ पे दो रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट है, एक वेयर लूप के लिए और एक कार्ड्स विद सूट फंक्शन के लिए है ना।
यस यस। तो जो यहाँ पे ये जो कर रहा है ना, ये रिटर्न क्या कर रहा है कि अगर वो ट्रू हुआ ना तो फिर इस चीज को एस ऑफ स्पेड ये सब को रिटर्न करना शुरू करेगा। ये जो रिटर्न कर रहा है ये रिटर्न है इस फंक्शन का, ठीक है। एंड कार्ड्स डॉट वेयर इज इटसेल्फ एक फंक्शन है, हमने देखा था। कार्ड्स डॉट वेयर एक इटसेल्फ एक मेथड है, सो वो इस वेयर मेथड का रिटर्न है। तो कार्ड्स विद सूट को ये रिटर्न कर रहा है और इस वेयर में ये रिटर्न कर रहा है। सो आप ये समझ रहे हैं, इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक अ हायरार्की थिंग, उसको वो रिटर्न कर रहा है और उसके लिए वो रिटर्न कर रहा है। तो दिस इज व्हाट इट इज। अभी ये थोड़ा आई नो एक हैवी पार्ट था, ये सबसेट हैवी पार्ट था, तो अगर वापस किसको डाउट है, मैं वापस बोल रहा हूँ, किसी को डाउट है सो प्लीज से। ओके आई थिंक ओके आई हैव टू मेक सम चेंजेस। या रिटर्न यहाँ से हटाओ, ये हटाओ, ये हटाओ। ओके आई थिंक move this, we put this, let's put this here, card is equal to card or suit, and this is the thing। तो I think we are done this now। अपने को हमारे 1 2 3 हो चुके हैं। now deal क्या करेगा? okay but before deal you know what, let's do remove, because remove इसका ही एक extension है। so let's have a remove card, it's almost similar to this, तो आपको चीजें समझ जाएगी। अब मेरे को रिमूव करना है, तो अभी मैंने जैसे यहाँ पे मुझे एक सूट के सारे कार्ड चाहिए थे, तो अगर मुझे रिमूव करना है तो मुझे उस सूट का कार्ड और उस सूट का रैंक चाहिए, मतलब उस कार्ड का सूट और उस कार्ड का रैंक दोनों चाहिए। तो स्ट्रिंग सूट एंड देयर इज अ स्ट्रिंग दैट इज रैंक, ऑलराइट। अभी हम लोग सेम वे, अभी हम लोग उसको लॉन्ग वे में नहीं करेंगे, शॉर्ट वे में करेंगे। अब हम लोग को क्या चाहिए कि आप ये समझिए कि हम लोग को अभी रिटर्न करेंगे। अगेन वी विल इटरेट, हम लोग पूरा स्टार्ट से लेकर एंड तक जाएगा ये सूट, और जहां पे भी वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको मिलेगा वो उसको रिमूव करेगा। जहां पे भी उसको क्या बोलते हैं वो कार्ड मिलेगा विद द सेम सूट एंड सेम रैंक, वो उसको डिलीट कर देगा, उसको रिमूव कर देगा। सो हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू implement this, how we are going to remove this? So let's do this. Okay, return now cards.where, as it's going to iterate from start to end, cards.where ये पता नहीं क्या होता है इसका हमेशा। So as I see यहाँ पे हम लोग उसको कॉपी करेंगे कार्ड, यहाँ पे वो कूल सा सिंबल, लेट्स पुट दिस कूल सिंबल। अब अभी मुझे आप बताइए, अगर मुझे यहाँ पे लेट्स पुट दिस प्रिंट, व्हाट वी कैन डू इज print, then we can remove card, deck dot remove कर देते हैं, and then we can print deck. Okay, let's do this. So let's remove this first of all. So deck dot remove card. So it needs two things. It needs suit, first हम लोग को suit देना है या rank देना है। सो पहले हम लोग को देना है सूट. सो सूट हम लोग देंगे, लेट्स गिव इट ऑफ हार्ट्स. Let's give it of hearts. And let's give ace of hearts. I want to remove ace of hearts. So अब मुझे बताइए कि अभी हम लोग ने यहाँ पे एक कंडीशन यूज किया था, कार्ड और सूट इज इक्वल टू सूट. अभी हम लोग को दोनों कंडीशन चाहिए कि जहां पे जो सूट है और रैंक है वो दोनों सेम हो. दोनों में से कुछ भी सेम नहीं होगा तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम लोग ने सिर्फ देखा कि हार्ट्स वाला सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए तो सब हट जाएंगे. जैसे इफ आई डू दिस, कार्ड डॉट सूट इक्वल टू सूट, हम लोग सिर्फ देख रहे हैं कि इस वक्त सूट वाला. now we just do this is deck dot sorry, let's print deck now. Print deck. Let's remove this, let's comment, इसको comment कर देते हैं and see this. अभी आप देखिए आपको क्या इसमें ace of hearts दिख रहा है. ace of hearts एक्चुअली में दिख रहा है. wait a second, I'll just क्या इश्यू हो रहा है. ace of hearts that remove this we have done this. hand size हो जाए, hand size तो हम लोग को बाद में करना पड़ेगा. remove card where card is equals to this and return. okay, let me just give this a second, give me a second for this thing. deck dot remove card. okay, what we are going to miss here is I think I have to just okay, if card is equals to return, we have to return this, return card, where it is, yeah, where, okay, my mistake. Sorry. So we are going to use another function here of what is this function? remove where yes, remove where. Now this is the method that we are going to use here. Now remove where, you can see here var numbers, we have an array of numbers 1 2 3 4. remove where item dot length is equal to 3. this is what you do. remove where item, जहाँ पे item का length equal to, जहाँ पे item 3 हो जाएगा उसको remove, जैसे 0 1 2 3 तो उसको remove कर देना है. this is what basically it is. if it satisfies the condition it will remove it. so यहाँ पे सिर्फ मेरे से एक गलती हो गई थी, sorry for this. remove where करके हम लोग को एक फंक्शन यूज करना है, जहां पे भी वो कार्ड अभी इसको ये स्पेसिफाई कर देगा वो उस चीज को रिमूव कर देगा. बट अब आप ये देखिए कि हम लोग ने यहाँ पे सिर्फ लिखा है कार्ड डॉट सूट इक्वल टू सूट, मतलब जो भी इस सूट का है अभी वो रिमूव होगा. सो एस और डायमंड्स आप देखेंगे, हार्ट्स का एक भी आपको नहीं दिखेगा. एंड इफ वी गो फॉर रैंक okay, so अभी आप देखेंगे कि यहाँ पे जो एस का रैंक है वो सारे निकल जाएंगे, आपको एस कहीं नहीं दिखेगा. 2 3 4 5 2 3 4 5 2 3 4 5 2 3 4. so there is no rank. so for the sake of it we are going to use a conditional operator that is and. now if you know, जैसे मैं बोल रहा था greater than or equal to, so or is basically a conditional operator. अब and में क्या होता है कि दोनों के दोनों केसेस, ये जो card dot rank equal to rank, डॉट इक्वल टू बेसिकली इस कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर. इक्वल टू मतलब क्या वो इक्वल है या नहीं है, इट विल चेक. और कार्ड डॉट सूट इक्वल टू सूट, ठीक है. तो अगर ये दोनों कंडीशन से स्पेसिफाई हो गए तो ही ये कार्ड रिमूव होगा, अदरवाइज कार्ड रिमूव नहीं होगा. अगर दोनों में से एक भी कंडीशन फॉल्स निकलती है तो कार्ड रिमूव होगा ही नहीं कोई भी. आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ, जैसे अभी मैंने यहाँ पे एस की जगह यहाँ पे एक एक्स्ट्रा ई डाल दिया. अब बताइए, अब मेरे हिसाब से मेरे को यहाँ पे एस ऑफ हार्ट्स रिमूव होना चाहिए, बट एस ऑफ हार्ट्स रिमूव नहीं हुआ बिकॉज यहाँ पे एक कंडीशन जैसे कार्ड डॉट रैंक डॉट इक्वल टू रैंक वाला जो कंडीशन था वो सेटिस्फाई हुआ ही नहीं. सो दैट्स द रीजन हम लोग एंड यूज करते हैं. आप एंड यूज करेंगे तो होगा. अभी अगर आपने सपोज यहाँ पे और कंडीशन, दिस इज द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ और, ठीक है. अभी अगर एक भी कंडीशन ट्रू होगा वो रिमूव हो जाएगा, बट हम लोग को यहाँ पे दोनों कंडीशंस ट्रू चाहिए, सो विल यूज दिस एंड. तो हम लोगों ने एंड यूज किया तो उससे हुआ एस ऑफ हार्ट्स गायब. देयर इज नो एस ऑफ हार्ट्स नाउ. अभी आप एस ऑफ हार्ट्स, यू नो व्हाट, आई वांट टू हैव 2 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 2 ऑफ क्लब्स. लेट्स डू क्लब्स को नहीं किया हम लोग ने, क्लब्स करेंगे और यहाँ पे ये होगा. सो 2 ऑफ क्लब्स, एस ऑफ क्लब्स एंड देन एक्जैक्टली 3 ऑफ क्लब्स. सो हम लोग के इस वक्त हम लोग ने 3 मेथड इंप्लीमेंट कर लिए, 4 मेथड टू बी प्रिसाइज: प्रिंट, कार्ड शफल, कार्ड विद सूट एंड रिमूव कार्ड. Now we are going to go into the last मेथड. सो इससे पहले अगर किसी को डाउट है सो प्लीज स्पेसिफाई. Any doubts? Yes, no, anything? Any doubts, guys? Come on. बस लास्ट फेज, इसका देख लास्ट फेज एंड देन वी कैन लीव. ओके, एक बस छोटा सा 3 लाइन का कोड करना है एंड देन वी आर डन. चलो, कम ऑन कम ऑन कम ऑन गाइस. Yes or no? Do you have any doubts or not? I'm still unable to have any response, guys. Come on, yaar. Okay, finally someone responded. No doubts. Meher Peswani. Anyone else? No. Okay, Kamran. Thank you both of you for at least Bhargav. Thank you, Bhargav. So, okay. I know it's tiresome. Okay, just we need one more function and we are done with this. Now, what was the last function? If you would remember, the last function that we had to make was to deal hand size. Now, what is dealing? अब आप मुझे बताइए कि अगर मुझे आपको सपोज मेरे सामने एक है और मैं इसको 5 कार्ड दूंगा एंड ये इसी ऑर्डर में जब मैं कार्ड देता हूं सो मैं ऊपर से दूंगा एस ऑफ हार्ट्स, 2 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 3 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 4 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 5 ऑफ हार्ट्स. सो मैं उसी ऑर्डर में उसको दूंगा. अच्छा, सो अभी अगर क्या बोल रहा था मैंने यहाँ से 5 कार्ड दे दिए ऊपर के, तो एस ऑफ हार्ट्स, 2 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 3 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 4 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 5 हार्ट्स, 4 निकल जाएंगे. तो अब मुझे ये 5 जो कार्ड्स है वो इस डेक में नहीं दिखने चाहिए. सो फॉर द सेक ऑफ इट लेट्स डू दिस. नाउ हम लोग का जो फंक्शन का नाम रखेंगे हम लोग डील, और हम लोग एक इंट लेंगे हैंड साइज. अब कितना हैंड साइज, कितने साइज का हम लोग को आगे देना है उसके हिसाब से हम लोग देंगे. ओके, लेट्स डू दिस. सो ये हम लोग का फंक्शन हुआ जिसमें हम लोग को हैंड साइज में डील करना है. सो अभी आप मुझे बताइए कि अब इसके लिए हम लोग एक और मेथड का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. आई नो ये सब चीज से आई एम टेलिंग यू, इफ यू यूज दिस थिंग यू जस्ट नीड प्रैक्टिस. ओके, राइट नाउ
डील में क्या होना चाहिए?
क्या होना चाहिए मतलब
डील समझ में नहीं आया, मींस क्या होता है?
जब आप डील करेंगे ना, एक मिनट आपको बता रहा हूँ बस. सो आप डील कर रहे हैं. सो व्हेन आई गिव अ कार्ड, जब मैं कार्ड देता हूँ तो मैं ऊपर के सपोज द हैंड साइज इज 5. हैंड साइज मतलब जितने कार्ड्स मेरे को आपको देने हैं. सो मैंने आपको 5 कार्ड्स दिए, एस ऑफ हार्ट्स, 2 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 3 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 4 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 5 ऑफ हार्ट्स. सो मैंने अगर आपको कार्ड दे दिए तो अभी वो मेरे इस डेक में प्रेजेंट नहीं रहने चाहिए, वो आपके पास रहने चाहिए. तो इट्स बेसिकली मेरे को आपको दे देने और यहाँ से रिमूव हो जाएंगे इस डेक से. सो ये काम है. सो आपको समझा?
अच्छा, हाँ.
ओके ओके, इट्स बेसिकली डीलिंग. जो आप वहाँ पे जो आप डीलर को देखते, जो आप देते हैं कार्ड्स, बेसिकली वही है. सो अभी मैं मानता हूँ कि इतने सारे मेथड्स हैं, देयर आर सो मेनी मेथड्स एंड you cannot know each and every method, that's for sure, but this is what it is. For you to know each and every method you have to start practicing. If you start practicing, आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. मुझे ये सब कैसे पता चला? मैंने प्रैक्टिस किया, मुझे प्रैक्टिस ये सब पता था कि ये सब चीजें प्रेजेंट है, उसके वजह से मुझे आइडिया है. आपको ये सब याद रहना जरूरी नहीं है, यू डोंट हैव टू रिमेंबर इट. आप जैसे ही यहाँ पे डालेंगे कार्ड्स डॉट करके, सो आपको उसके सारे मेथड, ये सारे मेथड्स जो उसके रिलेटेड आपको दिख जाएंगे. उसमें आपको क्या फंक्शन चाहिए, क्या नहीं चाहिए, वो सब आप सिलेक्ट इजीली कर सकते हैं. और आपको अभी आपको जानना है कि फिल रेंज क्या होता है, रिमूव ऑब्जेक्ट क्या करता है, तो आपको सिर्फ यहाँ पे जाना है इस डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में और आपको यहाँ पे सर्च करना है और आपको अच्छा ये चीज करता है, ये क्या रिटर्न करेगा, उसको क्या चाहिए. सो अगेन इट कम्स टू प्रैक्टिस. सो फॉर द सेक ऑफ दिस डील वी आर गोइंग टू यूज समथिंग दैट इज sublist. Now sublist as the name suggests, sublist किधर गया? sublist as the name suggests, list का एक छोटा सा sublist, मतलब उसके अंदर का छोटा सा पार्ट. एग्जाम्पल, VAR colors जैसे रेड, ग्रीन, ब्लू, ऑरेंज, एंड वी वांट कलर्स फ्रॉम sublist 1 to 3. Now 1 is the first index. अब मुझे आपको पता है कि अरे में जो पहला इंडेक्स होता है 0 होता है, then 1 2 3 4. okay, so I need to go from 1 to 3. so index 1 green, 2 3 नहीं जाएगा बिकॉज ये उससे कम में लेता है. So if you want to include orange, you have to put here 4. If you don't want to include orange, you can just put here 3. So 1 से 2 मतलब 3 से less equal to, it's basically like for loop जो 1 से is less than 3 तक जाता है. So you get it? इसके लिए यहाँ पे सिर्फ green और blue print होगा, orange print नहीं होगा. अब आप ये चीज नोटिस करेंगे, when you notice this sublist, there are some parameters here. This end parameter is written in square bracket. It means that you can omit it. If end is omitted, it defaults the length of the list. Now it is not compulsory that you have to add something like end in this. You don't have to add this. Now इसका example हम लोग देखेंगे. We have to write 2 sublists, so you'll come to know. So let's first have this. Now let's have this. So we have a list of hand. Let's have a list of hand. Let's have cards dot sublist. Now I want to go from 0, that is from the first digit. So I have to deal 5 cards. So 0 to 5. As you know, 5 तक नहीं जाएगा, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 ही एग्जीक्यूट होगा, इसका मतलब 5 कार्ड्स ही एग्जीक्यूट हो गए. सो अभी मैंने यहाँ से आपको हैंड दे दिया. अभी सपोज मैं क्या करता हूँ, लेट्स डू दिस, रिटर्न हैंड करता हूँ, ठीक है. एंड यहाँ पे मैं आपको ये सब हटा देता हूँ. लेट्स रिमूव दिस. ओके, लेट्स रिमूव दिस. और card or sublist. Okay, so deck dot we will have deal. Okay, इसको हम लोग print function में डाल देते हैं because we are returning the values, so it will directly print. Okay, deal. Now we have to return 0, comma. Do we need to? हाँ, we have to return 5. Okay, we have to return 5. तो यहाँ पे जो hand size है 5 हो जाएगा, तो 0 से sorry यहाँ पे hand size आना चाहिए. So that it would be, you can customize it according to you. अब जितना है, suppose मेरे को 5 नहीं चाहिए, मेरे को 10 चाहिए. Okay, so 10. So let's run this. Compilation error. Okay, return hand. I think I've made this issue, made this error. So आप अभी ये समझिए, मैं इसको यहाँ पे करता हूँ और एक print deck करता हूँ. Print deck किया. Okay. So let's do this. So you can see first 10 cards यहाँ पे जो थे deck में वो print हो जाता है. पर मैंने एक चीज बोला, जब if I'll give you some cards of the deck, I should remove that cards from the deck. So how are we going to remove the cards from the deck? Pretty simple. We are going to use sublist again. And as I said before, this end thing can be omitted. So we are going to omit this. So now cards is equals to cards dot sublist hand size. Let's put hand size. There you go. Now you will ask me, यहाँ पे हुआ क्या. अब चलिए मैं फॉर द सेक ऑफ इट लेट्स डू दिस, लेट्स पुट इट 3. ठीक है, अब मेरे डेक में है एस ऑफ, ये पूरा आपका डेक हुआ, एस ऑफ हार्ट्स, 2 ऑफ हार्ट्स, 3 ऑफ हार्ट्स. मेरे को 3 कार्ड आगे के निकालने, तो 0 से लेके 3, 0, 1, 2 तक जाएगा. सो एस ऑफ हार्ट्स, 2 ऑफ हार्ट्स एंड 3 ऑफ हार्ट्स विल गेट रिमूव्ड. ओके, अब क्या होगा कि अभी मुझे डेक जो चाहिए, एक दूसरा सबलिस्ट चाहिए. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another sublist which is going to start from the size 4. Start from the size 3 as we have mentioned it here, 3. तो यहाँ से, तो यहाँ पे जो थर्ड नंबर है वो the third index number किसका है, 0, 1, 2 and here we have 3. So we are going to cards में हम लोग reassign करेंगे एक पूरा sublist जो 4 से लेके clubs तक जाएगा. So now if we print this, now I'm going to print this. As you can see, there is ace of hearts, 2 of hearts, 3 of hearts, और उसके बाद का जो पूरा सबलिस्ट था, जो 4 ऑफ हार्ट से लेके बाकी था, वो हम लोगों ने कार्ड्स में डाल दिया. सिंपल स्टफ. हम लोग ने उसको सिर्फ एक रीअसाइनमेंट कर दिया जो सबलिस्ट था. दैट इज ऑल. सो यहाँ पे हम लोग के सारे मेथड्स कंप्लीट होते हैं, सारे चीज कंप्लीट होता है. सो राइट नाउ मैं क्या करूंगा कि सारे फंक्शंस को एक बार मैं रन करता हूँ कि आपको आइडिया हो जाए, और उसके बाद हम आपके डाउट्स लेंगे. प्रिंट डेक करते हैं, प्रिंट डेक हो जाएगा, उसके बाद कार्ड्स, लेट्स शफल द कार्ड्स. I think I have to do this. Dot shuffle print deck. Okay, now यहाँ पे shuffle हो जाएगा, ये cards with sorry deck dot shuffle, my mistake, deck dot shuffle. यहाँ पे प्रिंट आ जाएगा, यहाँ पे हम लोग शफल, अच्छा कार्ड शफल है क्या, ओके इट्स कार्ड शफल, सॉरी माय मिस्टेक. सो लेट्स डू दिस, लेट्स नेम इट नाइसली, शफल कार्ड. ओके, कार्ड शफल. सो यहाँ पे शफल आ जाएगा. वी आर डूइंग दिस कार्ड शफल, कार्ड विद सूट, रिमूव कार्ड. सो वी आर गोइंग टू रिमूव कार्ड नाउ. रिमूव डॉट sorry deck dot remove card. Now we have to put here ace. So first let's put, okay, first we have to put hearts here, the suit, and then we are going to put here rank of it. Okay, let's do this then. Now this remove card. Now for the sake of your understanding, I'm going to again print deck. Okay, and then we are going to deal 3, and then we are going to again print deck. So we have These are all the methods that we have done. Now this 62 line of code is what you do, and it's pretty easy. Now if you just run this, okay, it takes time. Now we have okay. This is entire tour of diamonds, ace of spades, tree of diamonds. Okay, oh, that's the thing. Okay, so we have the entire deck of this: ace of hearts, two of hearts, three of hearts, four of hearts. So this is the entire deck. Now we did cards of shuffled, and two of diamonds, ace of spades, everything that is in it is gets shuffled. Now we have printed the deck here. Now deck dot cards with suit. Now we are just going to print the cards with the suit of diamonds. So as you can see here, as we have already did shuffle, so the where function that with cards with suit will go from start to end, from two of diamonds to five of diamonds, and it is going to print as soon as it is getting. Now we see first two of diamonds here, then we get three of diamonds, ace of diamonds, four of diamonds, and five diamonds. So you can see here it gets printed in the same order the way it finds them in the list. Now we have to remove some card. That is, we have to remove ace of hearts. So we are going to remove ace of hearts. So we don't see any ace of hearts here. Can you see any ace of hearts here? Two of diamonds, ace of spades, there is ace of diamonds, but there is no ace of hearts here. So we have removed it. Now we are going to deal with three. We are going to remove first two of diamonds, ace of spades, three of hearts, and then what we all get is the rest of the remaining deck. Whew. So this was the entire project, and congratulations, you have done this 60 line of code. This is one of the really big code, big program, and you have completed it. Now I'm going to end this session right away, but before that, give me couple of minutes. If you have any doubt, just tell it now. Anything regarding the entire lecture that we had today, entire workshop we had today. Yeah, it's been 8 o'clock. You have been here for 3.5 hours, and yeah, it's a big chapter. But if you have any doubts, ask right away. Can you go slow, please? Net issues. Okay, Anand Krishnan, you have where did you have any doubts? Just tell me. We'll switch back to it. Any other? I think I need everyone to acknowledge this thing. Please, yes, no, कुछ भी type करो, and mute yourselves, ask doubts. Just let's end this on a high, okay? Because ये तो आज एक का part है. अभी हम लोग कल जाएंगे Flutter में. We are going to make apps right away, okay? So we no doubts, okay? We have no doubts from Akshata. Thank you, Akshata.
डील वाला जो मेथड,
डील वाला मेथड, ओके, क्या हुआ उसमें?
उसमें जो कार्ड्स इक्वल टू कार्ड सब लिस्ट है ना, बेसिकली वो क्या चीज है?
कार्ड्स इक्वल टू कार्ड और सब लिस्ट मतलब हम लोग जो कार्ड्स का जो लिस्ट था ना, उसमें हम लोग नया लिस्ट डाल रहे हैं, समझ रहे हो? अब एक सब लिस्ट एक ऑलरेडी एक लिस्ट का छोटा सा पार्ट है, बट इट इज ऑल्सो अ लिस्ट. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज वी आर रीअसाइनिंग दैट. अब कार्ड्स इक्वल टू ए था, अभी हम लोगों ने इसमें से बी किया और हम लोगों ने बी को कार्ड्स में डाल दिया. इट्स बेसिकली दैट. अब कार्ड्स इक्वल टू बी हो गया है. सो हम लोगों ने क्या किया है कि फॉर द सेक ऑफ कि वो हम लोग को अभी आप बताओ कि इससे अभी हम लोग को रिमूव करने से अच्छा है हम लोग सिर्फ एक काम करते हैं, उतने पार्ट को ही ओमिट कर देते हैं, एंड जितना वो रिमेनिंग सब लिस्ट है उसको ही एक नया सब लिस्ट, उसको ही हम लोग अपना प्रॉपर जो मेन लिस्ट है वही मान लेते हैं, वही डेक अपना बन जाएगा. सो हम लोगों ने वही चीज किया है, ठीक है? हम लोगों ने रीअसाइन किया है, ओके? जो हम लोग का जो पूरा इस कार्ड्स का जो लिस्ट था उसको हम लोगों ने सिर्फ एक सब लिस्ट रीअसाइन कर दिया है, रिमूविंग ऑल द कार्ड्स दैट वी डील्ड इनटू इट. ऑलराइट?
ओके,
ऑलराइट. So the plan for tomorrow, so I have to ask this, do you guys have any have you guys what do you say have installed Flutter or Android Studio right now as of yet on your PC or your computer? I need you all to answer this because it's really important. So just tell me if you have or not. Yes, Bhargav Jain, okay, you have. That's great. Yes, nice. We have good number, but if we don't, again, Parth, can you just again put that link for that WhatsApp group, and I can do is we can pin it. There is no option of pin. So if possible, can you just give that link again? Created full meeting notes for this meeting. Oh, thank you, Shivam. Thank you so much. But yeah, don't worry. If you have this, okay, I'll just check it once how it is. Okay, I think, okay, I won't be able to access it. I have to request access. It's cool. It's no issues. The thing is that what is it? I'll give it to you as I said before. Okay, Anuj, just hold on. Parth will just give you a link of a WhatsApp group. So join in the WhatsApp group. I'm also in the WhatsApp group with the entire CSI team. I will be putting in a document which is going to help you all to actually, yeah, this is the group. Doubts, resources, material used in the workshop will be shared in this WhatsApp. So right now, join this group straight away. I'll put in some, what is this, some resources in it, and you can go through them. Okay. No issue, no problems, Anuj. It's okay. Welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm also in that group. So if any of you get stuck somewhere and has some issues, you can just straight away contact me. I have my name. I have my name written there, Nitin Giri. You can directly contact me or in the group directly. It's not a pain for me. It's not an issue for me. So what all I'm saying is we will have that seminar tomorrow at the same time, because I think many of you might be tired. It's actually 4 hours right now. Okay. This is also QR code you can scan it. Thank you, Shreyas. So it's already 8 o'clock. And if you have to go through, you have to set up Flutter. It will take you 1 hour. So I would say don't do it straight away. Let's keep this seminar same time tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. so that and invite you. Not able to read the meeting notes showing server error. Yes, Abhishek. It's cool, Abhishek. Don't worry about it. I will give you the meeting notes tomorrow. At the end of the day, I will give you a link. It will be basically a Notion link. And you will have everything on it, that all the data, all the resources, all the notes will be present in it. So don't sweat about it. Okay, you will have it. All right. No issues. So yeah.
Yeah, I asked you a doubt. If we change the places of the arguments, so what will happen? I got the answer.
Okay.
We can use named parameters too. Basically, I send you the code. You can see to it.
Okay, just send me. Yeah, it's cool. Okay. So what you have done is Mihir age 20. Acha, you can use it there. Yeah, this can be done. This is another thing that you can do it. But you know, it's kind of clumsy, right? Yeah, it's kind of clumsy. You have to write first name again, age again, gender again, last name again. So it's not. Yeah, what you have done is right. It's not wrong at all. It's completely right. And yeah, I should have told you this about this. It's my mistake. But again, this is not a method. It is not a procedure. It is not a syntax that we follow normally. Yeah, it's correct. You can easily understand what is Mihir, what is 20, what is male. But yeah, it's easy if you just require this. It's kind of just a headache. So it's just better if you just follow that entire thing what you are writing.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That will be less stressful. Why do you have to write required this dot thing? It's just too much. Okay. So okay. Thank you, Mihir. You are very active. Thank you so much. So anything else? Anything else that you have? So if not, I would end this seminar for right now. If Parth or Chitral, do you have any closing notes you can give it? So we'll meet again tomorrow 4:30, and tomorrow we'll be starting with the project. So make sure that I'll be sending a document in what do you say? Can start the session early tomorrow. So at what time do you want, Bhargav? 3 o'clock? Will 3 o'clock work for everyone? 1 to 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is basically many have lunch at that point of time. Yeah, suggest timing. Yeah, it's upon you. We whatever the majority will say, we'll go with this. 2 to 6. Okay, so we have Sakshi 3 also. Okay, 3. So some more, 2, 3 more, and then we can easily decide. Yeah, 3 best, 3 best. Okay. So come on, some more guys. Anyone else? 4:30 to 8:30 is also fine like today. But yeah, I understand tomorrow is Sunday, and many might have plans on in the evening. So it was better that if we get till 3 and we can finish it by 6:30. Yeah, 3 looks good. So I think majority are happy with 3 o'clock. So we will keep 3 p.m. tomorrow. So tomorrow our project will be making, if I give you a bit of synopsis, we will be making a movie system. Now I would not go deep into it right now. So tomorrow from 3 o'clock, we'll again send. Remember to join that WhatsApp link. You can get a reminder there straight away. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm also present in the group, so you can ask me even on personal if you have any issues. And yeah, so I'd like to end this seminar right now. And thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot. You gave your more than 4 hours here. So yeah, it is really great for me. I think you all have made my day. So thank you again. And we'll meet again tomorrow at 3 p.m. and make some another interesting projects. All right. So
Yes, thank you.
thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night, everyone. All right. Thank you.